At the entrance of Inch Mountain Market's archway, the stationed cultivators inspected the passing cultivators arrogantly. When they saw Qin Ming transformed into a bearded man descending, they immediately switched to a fawning and obsequious demeanor, bowing and greeting him flatteringly. "Elder, are you here to enter the market? May I ask how to address you? I will handle the registration for you right away." The Qi cultivators in line around them also sensibly made way, casting curious glances at the bearded Foundation establishment stage man exuding evil Qi. "I am Long Taoist," Qin Ming replied in a muffled voice, instantly revealing a rough aura. "Oh, it's Elder Long. Please, do come in. I will open the array for you immediately." The gatekeeper registered him and then allowed him to pass. Upon entering the market, Qin Ming was greeted by bustling trading caravans, various cultivators crowding the streets, and the shops on either side were richly stocked. This was the largest cultivation market he had ever been to, many times larger than the Qingyang market he visited before. As Qin Ming walked along the main road, the surrounding cultivators avoided him, recognizing a robust Foundation establishment great cultivator. He had no mind to admire the market's prosperity or browse the surrounding shops. Instead, he headed straight for the largest establishment inside the market, the Cloud Fire Pavilion, which was undoubtedly one of the Thunder Origin Sect's assets. "Please, Elder, come inside and proceed to the 4th floor." The female greeter on the 1st floor saw a Foundation establishment great cultivator arrive and immediately displayed a professional smile, leading Qin Ming up. The Cloud Fire Pavilion was massive, with 18 floors. Its construction and decor were ancient and luxurious, painstakingly crafted, displaying the grandeur of a local powerhouse, fully illustrating their vast influence. The many Qi cultivators eating on the 1st floor breathed a sigh of relief after he went up. "Who is this elder expert? I didn't expect a Foundation establishment great cultivator to visit today. This elder, perhaps not a local cultivator? I have no recollection." "Hush! Stop making baseless assumptions. Some Foundation establishment great cultivators are temperamental. Careful words might bring calamity." Indeed, eat your meal." The 4th floor room was elegantly decorated in an ancient style, dignified and solemn. After half a cup of tea's time, a middle-aged cultivator entered, wearing a blue silk robe with golden threads and a large red brocade robe, exhibiting a middle-stage Foundation establishment man of fluctuation, displaying a calm and unhurried demeanor. Upon entering the private room, the middle-aged cultivator sized up the rugged man in front of him, cupped his hands, and smiled, saying, "I am Han Lin, the resident of the Thunder Origin Sect in Inch Mountain, and the chief shopkeeper of this Cloud Fire Pavilion. Greetings to fellow Taoist Long. May I ask where fellow Taoist Long hails from? I have many friends in the Wei Country Cultivation Realm, and I recognize most Foundation establishment peers, but have never heard of fellow Taoist Long. I'm just a rural villager who seldom ventures into the world, so it's normal that fellow Taoist Han has not heard of me," Qin Ming replied calmly. An immense entity like the Thunder Origin Sect, with its intelligence network spread throughout the Wei Country Cultivation Realm, naturally had information on every Foundation establishment cultivator. But this fake identity had only appeared twice near the Celestial River Market and Chinya Spirit Island, so it was understandable they had no knowledge of it. "I see, fellow Taoist Long is visiting Inch Mountain for the first time. May I know what you wish to purchase? Our Cloud Fire Pavilion has an abundance of cultivation resources." Han Lin's tone was steady, conveying sincerity. "I have heard that your pavilion offers Tier 3 arrays for sale, so I have come from afar for them," Qin Ming said straightforwardly. Upon hearing this, Han Lin's expression changed to one of surprise. He was visibly stunned and reassessed the unremarkable bearded man before him. One must know, a Tier 3 array is unlike other cultivation items. Not to mention the requirement for a Tier 3 spirit vein during its setup, its cost alone is something that ordinary cultivators could only covet. Only large families or significant powers, at least with several Foundation establishment members, could have sufficient spirit stone resources to purchase such an item. Ordinary loose cultivators couldn't even afford a single strand of an array, let alone a Tier 3 array. I did not expect fellow Taoist long to come for a Tier 3 array. May I ask where your celestial homeland is? Indeed, we do sell Tier 3 arrays at Cloudfire Pavilion, and I dare say, in the entire Wei country's Cultivation Realm, less than 3 entities can offer Tier 3 arrays for sale. Qin Ming chuckled in response. Merely a hermit cultivator, not worth mentioning, but I recently heard about a looming beast calamity and had to liquidate my assets to secure a chance of survival. Oh, I did not expect fellow Taoist long to be so well informed. This news is currently circulating only among the high echelons of various major powers. Han Lin couldn't help but show a hint of surprise. It seemed that this fellow Taoist Long was by no means a mere rural villager. How could a rural villager grasp such critical intelligence? However, as long as there's profit to be made, every visitor is welcome. As long as they are not fugitives or demonic cultivators, they are eligible for transactions. This transaction involving a Tier 3 array requires, with all due respect, verification of fellow Taoist spirit stones. At least 100,000 low-grade spirit stones or over 1,000 middle-grade spirit stones are needed for the subsequent transaction steps. Han Lin explained with a smile. The rugged man into whom Qin Ming had transformed chuckled, revealing a mouthful of large white teeth, and immediately placed 2 bags of spirit stones in front of Han Lin. Han Lin nodded slightly at Qin Ming, then opened the 2 spirit stone bags, only to see that each bag was filled with 500 medium-grade spirit stones. Having demonstrated a wave of spirit stone strength, Han Lin no longer doubted the other party's purchasing power. Instantly, the smile on his face grew even wider. Completing this deal would be yet another great achievement. Thus, he warmly poured spirit tea for Qin Ming and began to introduce. Our pavilion currently offers 3 types of Tier 3 arrays. The first is the Primordial Star River Array, a Tier 3 low-grade array, which can utilize the power of mountains and stars, both offensive and defensive, priced at 1,800 medium-grade spirit stones. The second is the All-Heaven Profound Spirit Array, a Tier 3 low-grade array, which, in addition to having extremely strong defensive capabilities, allows for void teleportation within the array's range at the cost of medium-grade spirit stones, priced at 1,500 medium-grade spirit stones. The third is the Profound Turtle Sea Covering Array, a Tier 3 middle-grade array, renowned for its exceptionally formidable defensive capabilities, easily withstanding all attacks below the late-stage Golden Core. However, this array only has defensive capabilities and no other functions, and it requires a Tier 3 middle-grade spiritual vein to fully manifest the strongest defensive effects of the array. If only using a Tier 3 low-grade spiritual vein, the effect will be significantly reduced, and it should be explained in advance to fellow Taoist Long, priced at 1,200 medium-grade spirit stones. After Han Lin finished speaking, he gently took a sip of spirit tea from his cup, waiting for Qin Ming's response. I wonder if your pavilion has a higher-level Tier 3 high-grade array. Qin Ming suddenly blurted out. Cough, cough. Han Lin was so startled by the question that he spewed a mouthful of tea, then quickly wiped the water off himself. He hadn't expected fellow Taoist Long to say something so astonishing. Cough. To be honest with fellow Taoist Qin, our Sect's Mountain Protection Array is just a Tier 3 high-grade Grand Array. Han Lin couldn't help but twitch his face. He certainly couldn't sell the Thunder Origin Sect's Mountain Protection Array. Could he? Haha. I see, I was indeed hasty. Qin Ming chuckled awkwardly. After a brief consideration, he finally chose the Tier 3 middle-grade array, Profound Turtle Sea Covering Array, among the 3 arrays. Qin Ming immediately took out another 200 medium-grade spirit stones and handed them to Han Lin, causing the amount of spirit stones on him to shrink by more than half. However, he wasn't worried. At worst, he could auction off another Foundation establishment pill if necessary. Both parties exchanged money for goods. Han Lin took out something resembling a turtle shell and several dozen earth-colored array flags and handed them to Qin Ming, then said with a smile, "Fellow Taoist Long, please take these carefully. This is the array core of the profound turtle sea-covering array, and these are the array flags. Oh, and this as well. This jade scroll contains detailed instructions on how to set up the array. Fellow Taoist Qin can simply follow the operations described, which are very simple and convenient." Qin Ming stored the array and jade scroll, sighing inwardly that purchasing an array was truly a money pit. He had achieved his purpose for this trip and immediately cupped his hands to bid farewell to Han Lin. "Shopkeeper Han, it's been a pleasure doing business. I have urgent matters to attend to, so I won't stay longer." "Huh, fellow Taoist Long, no need to rush off. Why not stay in the market for a couple more days? Han here would be delighted to show you around and properly entertain fellow Taoist Long." Han Lin racked his brains, hoping to retain this extremely valuable customer. It's rare to find someone who can casually take out 1,200 medium-grade spirit stones to purchase an array. With his experience managing Cloudfire Pavilion, Han Lin knew without needing to contemplate that this fellow Taoist Long likely possessed some extremely high-level skills within the 100 skills of cultivation. Otherwise, the only possibility left would be a tribulation cultivator, but Han Lin had already secretly checked with a special tool just now, and there was indeed no sign of disguise on this fellow Taoist Long. Plus, he wasn't on the wanted list in Wei Country's Cultivation Realm, so his background should be relatively clean. I appreciate fellow Taoist Han's good intentions. There will be plenty of opportunities in the future, and I'll definitely share drinks with the shopkeeper then," Qin Ming said, cupping his hands. Seeing that Qin Ming did not directly refuse, Han Lin eagerly asked him, "I wonder if fellow Taoist Long has any affiliations? Would you be interested in joining our Thunder Origin sect? Our treatment of honored guest elders has always been exceptionally high." Qin Ming was already accustomed to such solicitations and succinctly refused the offer. Han Lin was somewhat exasperated. He had intended to subtly probe the other party's background, but fellow Taoist Long was impermeable to both soft and hard approaches, speaking in a way that left no openings. Although he was slightly disappointed, this was, after all, the first time they had interacted, and he couldn't rush things. Moreover, the first interaction had already resulted in a major transaction, and with fellow Taoist Long's capabilities, they were likely to cross paths again in the future. So, thinking, Han Lin took out a jade token from his bosom and handed it to Qin Ming, saying, "Fellow Taoist Long, having spent so many spirit stones in our pavilion at once, you are eligible to become a distinguished guest here. If you have any needs in the future, feel free to come and find me, Han. So long as it's within the realm of Wei Country's Cultivation Realm, there are few resources we can't obtain, and an 80% discount is available to fellow Taoist Long too." Qin Ming accepted the jade token without hesitation. "Thank you very much." Then, under Han Lin's courteous send-off, he left the shop. This drew the attention of many cultivators on the street, as not many could boast of being personally seen off by someone of Han Lin's stature and position. Qin Ming left the Inch Mountain Market and did not hurry back. Instead, he started to frantically circle around the nearby mountain peaks. Qin Ming circled around outside a few times, confirming no one was following, then immediately rode Escape Light and disappeared in an instant into the sky. However, he did not rush towards Wangwei Island, but instead headed to a nearby city. This city is located near Inch Mountain Market, not too far away, named Jialing City. Qin Ming, coming to Inch Mountain this time, happened to remember a matter from when he was in Yinhuang Marsh, Qingyang Market, a transaction he had made with Feng Yuan, promising to take care of his descendants. Back then, Feng Yuan had used the Foundation Establishment spiritual object, Celestial Fire Spirit Liquid, as an exchange with Qin Ming. And finally, he revealed the hiding place of the Beast Hide map, which led Qin Ming not only to unexpectedly obtain the spirit-devouring poison flame, but also the subsequent cultivation technique of the 100 Treasures Glaze Scripture. It can be said, also thanks to fellow Taoist Feng, Otherwise, he would truly have difficulty reaching his current position. Before Feng Yuan died, he explained that his clansmen were in this Jialing city. Qin Ming passed through here, perfect to fulfill the previous promise and end this cause and effect. Qin Ming transformed into a burly man with bristling beard, then landed near a small forest outside Jialing City. He adjusted the mana breath on his body to the late-stage Qi cultivation, then nodded satisfactorily and walked towards Jialing City. This small city is not large. Inside, there are even mortals living. Qin Ming released his divine thought to scan and found that the cultivators with the highest cultivation in the city are only at the late-stage Qi cultivation. Jialing City, with restaurants standing in rows, flags swaying, pedestrians and carriages coming and going on the roads, various street vendors passionately hawking. The city is small, but well-equipped with a myriad of good stalls at every glance. The street-side snacks exude an appetizing aroma, full of the bustling human atmosphere. Qin Ming wandered around for a bit, then arrived before a mansion with several children playing outside the gate. They looked up and saw a fierce-looking burly man with bristling beard walking toward them. Suddenly, they ran swiftly back into the yard. Qin Ming touched his face and muttered, "Am I that scary?" He went forward and knocked on the gate. Moments later, a middle-aged cultivator came out to open the door, looking very similar to the Feng brothers. Qin Ming casually glanced at the person, discovering he was only a cultivator at the mid-stage Qi cultivation. The middle-aged cultivator looked and, since the opponent was a great cultivator at the late-stage Qi cultivation, hurriedly clasped his hands and said, "Greetings, fellow Taoist. May I know what brings you to my humble abode?" "Huh, is this the Feng clan that moved over from Jiangdong? What relation are Feng Yuan and Feng Fan to you?" Qin Ming asked in a muffled voice. Upon hearing these words, the middle-aged cultivator's expression immediately became excited. He hurriedly asked, "Do you know the whereabouts of my clan, uncle?" To be honest, over the years, the remaining clansmen of the Feng clan have been trying to find news of the two clan uncles, but there has been no news until today. Unexpectedly, today, news has come to the door. My surname is Long, an old acquaintance of the Feng brothers, and quite familiar with them. Qin Ming nodded indeterminately. "Ah, do come in quickly. I am Feng Sihai." The middle-aged cultivator was overjoyed upon hearing this and extended his hand to invite Qin Ming into the yard. The Feng family's courtyard was quite expansive, with a flourishing population. The clan's people inside, seeing the clan leader respectfully leading a stranger in, all showed curious expressions. Feng Sihai brought Qin Ming to the inner hall, and then also summoned several other direct clansmen, both young and old. They too had heard about the news of their elders, all gathered in the hall, looking expectantly at Qin Ming. Seeing this scene, Qin Ming was at a loss for words for a moment. Finally, he sighed and said, "Both fellow Taoist Feng have already fallen. Here is a personal letter from fellow Taoist Feng Yuan entrusted to me before his death." "What? The two clan uncles have fallen?" This news was like a bolt from the blue for the Feng family, with many present unable to accept it for a moment, starting to sob quietly on the spot. Feng Sihai was also struck, his face pale. Originally thinking that the two clan uncles finally had news, little did he think the awaited was bad news. He found it hard to believe and took the letter from Qin Ming's hand. His hands tremblingly opened it, indeed confirming it was the handwriting of his clan, Uncle Feng Yuan. "Fellow Taoist Feng, my condolences." Qin Ming felt the sorrowful atmosphere in the hall and comforted the other party. "Fellow Taoist Long, may I ask how the two clan uncles met their demise?" Upon hearing this, Qin Ming truthfully recounted the story of the Feng brothers meeting misfortune while exploring the ancient ruins to the Feng family members. "Ah, it's fate. I have long advised the two clan uncles not to always take such big risks, going out to hunt demons and seek fortune. There will always be a time when things go wrong. Little did I know this wasn't Qin Ming did not intend to stay much longer, so he proceeded to speak. "Before fellow Taoist Feng Yuan passed, he made a transaction with my family. I am here this time to repay that favor." You may choose any from the cultivation resources, pills, cultivation techniques, magical artifact, spiritual materials, or make a reasonable request, as long as it's within fellow Taoist Long's capabilities. Feng Sihai was momentarily stunned upon hearing this, having observed this fellow Taoist Long, whose cultivation strength is unfathomable, by no means an ordinary cultivator. After pondering for a moment, he decisively asked, "Since this is the case, Feng has a presumptuous request. Could there be any young disciples under the clan who catch fellow Taoist Long's eye? My family is naturally free-spirited, not fond of accepting disciples. You should choose another." Qin Ming hurriedly waved his hand. I wonder what fellow Taoist Feng Yuan's cousin exchanged with fellow Taoist Long for this favor back then, so that I can evaluate its worth." Feng Sihai thought for a moment and spoke. Qin Ming did not hide anything. It was a Foundation establishment spiritual object, celestial fire spirit liquid. Everyone in the hall was shocked upon hearing this. They did not expect such a rare cultivation resource. "If you want it, I can also give you a Foundation establishment spiritual object. However, considering Feng family's current capabilities, it might bring disaster instead. You should think carefully. Moreover, I can tell you a piece of news. Soon there will be a beast calamity affecting the entire cultivation realm of Wei country. You should prepare to evacuate this place early. It's best to move to a large cultivation city. That's where it will be relatively safe." Qin Ming said blandly. What? Beast calamity?" The Feng family members began to panic, shocked by the explosive news from fellow Taoist Long. "Does fellow Taoist Long have a way to introduce us Feng family members to move into a large immortal city? Feng Sihai is willing to use this condition to offset the cousin's favor transaction." Feng Sihai understood how to make crucial decisions in the face of significant issues. Right now, the most important thing is to secure one's life, because having the life to enjoy Foundation establishment spiritual objects, cultivation techniques, and pills is essential. Moreover, the residence rights in large immortal cities are not easy to obtain. Feng Sihai wanted to seize the opportunity while it lasted. Qin Ming pondered slightly and said, "Okay." Then he took out a blank jade scroll, wrote an introductory letter, and handed it to Feng Sihai, instructing, "Take this to the guard at the entrance of Vast Sea Immortal City and tell them it's for Steward. There will naturally be someone to settle your family members." Feng Sihai took the jade scroll and, with an excited expression, bowed gratefully to Qin Ming. "Thank you, fellow Taoist Long. I am immensely grateful for such a favor." Vast Sea Immortal City is the largest city favored by great independent cultivators. It's a place many dream of living in. Moving into such a place means safety won't be a concern. Furthermore, it will benefit the future development of Feng family, since their main industry is making talisman, which assures their livelihood wherever they go. Fellow Taoist Feng should quickly organize your family to set out. The beast tide may arrive soon. Qin Ming then took out 2 bottles of spirit storage pill and handed them to Feng Sihai. "All right, the matter is complete. I'll take my leave now. Farewell till we meet again." "It's the spirit storage pill. Fellow Taoist Long, please wait a moment." Feng Sihai admired Qin Ming's credibility, handing them a prestigious spiritual pill in addition to offering them a place of refuge, improving his impression of Qin Ming significantly. He hesitated for a moment, seemingly determined about something. Qin Ming paused in surprise and asked, "Does fellow Taoist Feng have any other matters?" "Oh, fellow Taoist Long, it's like this. Not long ago, a member from our family found something remarkable in an abandoned cave mansion. We have studied it for a long time, but haven't understood what it is, and we dare not sell it, fearing it might bring disaster. I'll take fellow Taoist Long to have a look, and maybe we can make another transaction if you're interested," Feng Sihai explained. Qin Ming raised his eyebrows, then nodded. Later, Feng Sihai took Qin Ming to a secret room in the backyard. After opening several hidden doors, a spacious stone chamber appeared before Qin Ming. In the center of the stone chamber stood a stone urn with a faintly glowing, mysterious object about the size of a fist. Qin Ming's heart leapt with excitement upon seeing it, and he thought, it's actually innate earth. Innate earth, said to contain the power of origin, is an object reputed to make spirit soil expand and grow continuously, enhancing its fertility. With this innate earth, the island's spirit field area can be expanded limitlessly. The value of this object can no longer be measured by spirit stones. It's surprising how astonishingly lucky Feng family is, finding such a rare and invaluable item. This innate earth is meant to come to me today. Luckily, Feng Sihai was cautious and discreet. If the news of this leaked, it would surely bring disaster to the family. Qin Ming externally remained calm and said, this object is indeed extraordinary, piquing my interest. Feng Daoist, name your price. Feng Sihai was overjoyed, then cupped his hands in gratitude, saying, fellow Daoist Long, had it not been for your visit today notifying us, my Feng family might encounter a catastrophe. It's all up to fellow Daoist Long. Qin Ming thought for a moment, then took out some cultivation techniques and pills suitable for Qi cultivation stage from his storage pouch, along with several high-grade spiritual artifacts, and handed them to Feng Sihai. He promised, if someday Feng family cultivators reach late-stage Qi cultivation, I'll offer another reward. Feng Sihai didn't expect Qin Ming to be so generous and became deeply grateful to him. Additionally, once the beast calamity erupts, all cultivation resources will inevitably increase in value, like pills, talisman, and spirit rice, so you all should prepare in advance. Transaction finished. Qin Ming advised Feng Sihai a few things, then left Jialing City amidst the Feng family's courteous farewell. Didn't expect this trip to be so fruitful, acquiring Tier 3 array and delighting in a chunk of innate earth. I might be able to expand my spirit field island again. Qin Ming left Jialing City, riding the silver-winged frostbee back towards Wanwei Island. He flew in the air for most of the day. Suddenly, his powerful divine thought detected a large gathering of cultivators a few miles away. The location was a rolling mountain range, where a long blue stone wall was built, winding through the mountains like a dragon coiled among the peaks. Qin Ming was originally planning to leave directly, but was intrigued when he overheard the discussions of the cultivators heading there. He immediately put the silver-winged bee into his spirit beast bag, used the concealing breath technique to reveal an early-stage foundation establishment cultivation level, and casually stopped a late-stage Qi cultivator to ask questions. The Qi cultivator, controlling a Dharma ship flying swiftly towards the gathering, was suddenly stopped by someone. A flash of anger crossed his eyes, but when he sensed the mana fluctuations from the other party far exceeded his own, a smile returned to his face. Hith. Esteemed senior, how may I assist you? The Qi cultivator smiled and bowed respectfully to Qin Ming. He looked at the rugged, bearded man before him and cursed his luck inwardly, instantly feeling intimidated. Qin Ming pretended to be profound, snorted coldly, and asked, Humph, what are you running for? Am I that frightening? You brat, better tell me what exactly is happening up ahead. If your explanation doesn't satisfy me, be careful, I might break your legs. Upon hearing this, the late-stage Qi cultivator shuddered in fear and quickly answered honestly, reporting to Senior, today is the agreed day for duel between Linghu Yang and Wei Country's first sword Wei Wuya. In a short while, the two will duel at the Forbidden Ridge. Many cultivators are rushing to witness this once-in-a-century event. I also rushed to join the excitement. Qin Ming was taken aback, not expecting it to involve Wei Wuya. Cough. Tell me more. Who exactly is this Linghu Yang to dare challenge Wei Wuya? Doesn't Senior know? Linghu Yang is the recently prominent hermit. He defeated the fake pill ancestor with Foundation Establishment Perfection Cultivation, becoming famous in the Wei Country Cultivation Realm. Qin Ming frowned, recalling vaguely hearing discussions about this person at Vast Sea Immortal City, leaving some impression. No wonder he dared challenge Wei Wuya. Seems he has some capabilities. All right, you can go. Qin Ming grumbled in a coarse voice. The Qi cultivator, hearing this, left gratefully, sweating profusely. Such bad luck. Maybe today isn't suitable for traveling. Encountering such an evil star, luckily, he isn't some wicked villain, or I'd be done for. Qin Ming watched the cultivator leave and thought to himself, interesting. Looks like I'll conveniently get to witness the true power level of the Foundation establishment stage in the Wei Country Cultivation Realm. With this in mind, Qin Ming also flew towards the Forbidden Ridge. A stick of incense later, Qin Ming arrived at the site where the duel was about to begin. The Forbidden Ridge was already bustling with people. Who do you think will win this battle? Isn't it obvious? It's definitely Ling Huyang, defeating the fake pill ancestor. He's a once-in-a-century, unparalleled genius. Wei Wuya, as Wei Country's first sword, isn't renowned for nothing. After years of hard cultivation, his swordsmanship must have reached mastery. Ling Huyang surely can't last more than one round against him. Do you dare to bet? I'll wager your high-grade magical artifact. Bring it on. Who's afraid? But let's agree beforehand. If you lose, you must hand over that century-old wind spirit grass. Agreed. So be it. Who's afraid? Such scenes unfolded continuously at the Forbidden Ridge. Qin Ming was also dumbfounded by the betting among cultivators even before the duel between Wei Wuya and Ling Huyang began. Swoosh! Swoosh! At this moment, two dazzling escape lights approached quickly from the distant sky. Two majestic figures stood in the void, staring at each other. Ling Huyang stood tall, eyes sharp, with rugged facial features. Holding a top-grade spiritual saber in his arms, he said faintly to Wei Wuya, "This battle will determine both superiority and life or death." As you wish. Wei Wuya's face remained impassive. The surrounding cultivators, hearing such a straightforward and domineering opening, couldn't help but feel their blood boil. Qin Ming, too, was secretly observing from the nearby sky. He had just probed with his divine thought and found that the mana cultivation fluctuations of both were nearly evenly matched. Swoosh! Swoosh! The battle was about to break out. In the sky, two light shadows intertwined, flashing a glaring brilliance, causing the crowd below to exclaim in surprise. Boom! Boom! Two deafening sounds exploded as Wei Wuya and Ling Huyang engaged in combat midair. Some cultivators only felt the immense force, but couldn't understand what exactly transpired. Qin Ming, however, saw clearly. The two Foundation establishment perfection geniuses exchanged dozens of blows in an instant. A visible mass of crimson, sword aura, and a patch of blue light intertwined, clashing from the sky to the ground, flattening nearby peaks. Many onlookers, witnessing such terrifying power, couldn't help but fly away on their magical artifacts, fearing the aftermath of their spells would kill them, leaving them dead and dissipated. In an instant, in the distant mountains, rocks shattered, dazzling magic roars echoed one after another, and smoke billowed. Wei Wuya, known as the #1 sword in Wei Country, wielded a top-grade spiritual artifact Dharma sword, with sword aura flickering around him, sometimes forming a sword shield, sometimes transforming into a sword array, forcing Ling Huyang into danger several times. Wherever the sword aura passed, nothing could withstand it, and everything was slashed into dust. However, Ling Huyang was not an easy opponent either. He wielded a golden long blade spiritual artifact, surrounded by multicolored flames, and his momentum threatened a fake pill level. Brother Wei, you have great skills. Next, I will use my strongest strike ever. If even this move can't defeat you, I'll concede. Ling Huyang's eyes showed madness, and his battle intent was awe-inspiring. He then pointed at his brow, and a drop of dark red blood floated out, dropping instantly onto the blade. Boom! The ancient golden long blade seemed to have been awakened by something. It instantly transformed into a dazzling starlight and disappeared. Clearly, He had activated some terrifying secret technique at the cost of burning his essence, blood, and lifespan. Ling Hu Yang then clasped his hands together, raising them over his head. Boom! A 10-feet-long blue blade, aura phantom, suddenly appeared over Ling Hu Yang, exuding a world-destroying momentum. Even Wei Wuya frowned upon seeing this, cursing inwardly. What a damn lunatic. Qin Ming, transformed into a burly man with a red beard, was watching the spectacle from the side of the sky with rapt attention. He suddenly felt something was amiss. Wei Wuya's location was directly in front of Qin Ming, and he hadn't anticipated that Ling Hu Yang's strike, at the cost of burning essence, would be so formidable. Just as Qin Ming was about to step back and watch from a distance, the blade aura phantom, controlled by Ling Hu Yang, approached Wei Wuya with unstoppable momentum. Boom! The cultivators watching from Qin Ming's side were terrified, their faces pale, regretting not stepping back further, as they silently prayed that Wei Wuya could withstand this immensely powerful magic. Oh my goodness! Ling Hu Yang's strike likely surpasses the Foundation Establishment stage's magic realm, right? This man is truly a madman. It's over, there's no time to dodge. I hope Wei Wuya can handle this. Otherwise, it's a disaster. As the crowd scattered and fled in all directions, the tens of feet-long blue blade aura phantom, under Ling Hu Yang's control, erupted with even more momentum, rising over another 10 feet before slashing down right in front. Something unexpected occurred. Faced with such a terrifying trump card, even Wei Wuya, hailed as the #1 sword in Wei country, didn't plan to take the strike head-on. He took out a gray talisman, immediately slapping it onto himself, and vanished from his original spot. He reappeared a mile away in an instant. This maneuver left even Qin Ming dumbfounded. Damn it, Wei Wuya actually chickened out. It's over, the blade is coming down, run. There's no time, we're doomed. Qin Ming's face twitched. He hadn't expected that just being a bystander would get him caught in the crossfire of a magical duel. Seeing Ling Hu Yang's mightiest strike targeting the space he occupied, he realized escape was impossible without a teleportation talisman like Wei Wuya's. The nearby cultivators lamented in despair, their faces showing hopelessness. Roar! At this moment, a giant blood-red four-armed phantom appeared in midair, over 20 feet tall, towering and monumental. The moment the blood-red four-armed giant phantom appeared, it exuded an unparalleled aura, sending shockwaves radiating in all directions. The affected cultivators were like skiffs in a stormy sea, blown about chaotically, with some even falling directly from midair. The blood-red four-armed giant ape phantom showed no fear as the blade aura slashed toward it. Crackle. Boom. Its four arms stretched, fingers clenching into fists, transforming into a blood-red demon god, crossing tens of feet in an instant and striking the sky-bound blade aura phantom horizontally. Boom. 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 Crack. After several earth-shaking collisions, the blue blade aura in the sky was shattered instantly by the blood-red giant phantom's punches, scattering like foam. Bam! The residual force of the punches continued unabated and smashed into Ling Hu Yang in midair, sending him crashing into the mountainside like a cannonball. An unmistakable Tai character-shaped black indentation appeared on the mountainside. Gasp! The watching cultivators collectively gasped, not only relieved for surviving, but also stunned and unable to calm their shocked emotions after witnessing this scene. Not far away, Wei Wuya, equally taken aback, looked at Qin Ming, who had transformed into a burly man with a red beard, his mind in turmoil. Above the sky, the blood-colored giant ape's phantom dissipated, revealing the silhouette of a burly man with a fierce aura. I'm not good. I'm drawing too much attention. Luckily, I've taken 100 illusion pill, so no one knows who I am. Why did Ling Hu Yang have to attack me? Wei Wuya also, at the critical moment, actually backed down. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had to make a move. The scene was suddenly silent as the grave. Qin Ming could feel all eyes on him, which made him quite uncomfortable. All the cultivators looked at him, each with expressions of awe and fear. The cultivation realm has always been strength-oriented, and for someone like him to effortlessly defeat Ling Huyang, it was enough to prove his terrifying cultivation power. It would certainly stir up a storm in the cultivation realm. Ahem. Ignoring everyone's gaze, Qin Ming raised his hand and coughed lightly, then transformed into a blood-colored escape light and vanished, leaving this place of troubles. From that moment, Qin Ming had reached a clearer understanding of his power. Within the foundation establishment stage, he should be without rivals. With the departure of the burly man, above Forbidden Ridge, there was suddenly a clamor of discussions. Too strong. Who on earth was that burly cultivator? He shattered a magic that even Wei Wuya didn't dare to take with just a single punch, and defeated Ling Huyang. Seems like a body-refining cultivator with such formidable and domineering body-refining technique. Why did I see him as an early-stage foundation establishment? Could it be that he was concealing his cultivation? Certainly, you can't discern the body-refining cultivation. This person is certainly not ordinary. He could probably rank among the top 3 foundation establishment cultivators in the Wei country cultivation realm. Haha. We came to see Wei Wuya and Ling Huyang duel for supremacy, but who would have thought a third party would show up? Amazing. After this battle, this person might become famous throughout the land. In the crowd, the late-stage Qi cultivator whom Qin Ming had previously asked for directions trembled continuously, swallowing hard. Thank goodness I was quick-witted, otherwise there wouldn't even be a speck left of me if I got punched. It was him. Fellow Taoist Long. Shopkeeper Han from Cloudfire Pavilion at Inch Mountain Market had also come, as he naturally had to lead people to support and cheer for Wei Wuya, a senior disciple of the Thunder Origin Sect. But what he never expected was that the person who had just demonstrated immense power was the same fellow Taoist Long who had recently purchased an array from him. For a while, he was completely stunned. What? Fellow Taoist Long. Shopkeeper Han. Do you know this person? Quickly, tell us more. Elsewhere, Qin Ming, having transformed into the burly man, once again mounted the silver-winged frost bee, speeding towards Wanware Island. After another half-day, Qin Ming wandered back to the vicinity of Wanwell Lake. He reverted to his original appearance, opened the Mist Illusion Realm, and then flew back to Wanwell Island. The people of the Wu family also noticed Qin Ming's return and greeted him one after another. Once Qin Ming landed on the island, he summoned Wu Jiang over and told him seriously, "Sai, fellow Taoist Wu, during my recent journey, I learned some alarming news again." Wu Jiang's face showed a worried expression upon hearing this, because whenever fellow Taoist Qin said something like this, it was always followed by trouble. Despite being mentally prepared, Wu Jiang was still unnerved by Qin Ming's next words. A beast tide is approaching, and it's incredibly massive in scale, affecting the cultivation realm of the Spirit Nest Islands. For safety's sake, you should bring your family from White Rock Island to Wanware Island, Qin Ming said, patting Wu Jiang on the shoulder. Wu Jiang looked bitter, feeling conflicted inside, as he didn't know how many times they'd relocated as a family. White Rock Island had just been rebuilt after the war, and now there's another beast disaster looming. But there was hardly room to doubt fellow Taoist Qin's words, so he could only follow his recommendation. Wu Jiang gave Qin Ming a respectful bow. "Thank you, fellow Taoist Qin, for the information. I'll quickly inform my family." Then he paused, hesitating. "By the way, if this beast disaster is larger than before, what about Wanwei Island? Will it?" "Don't worry. Once I learned about the beast disaster, I bought a Tier 3 array. With the protection of the Tier 3 array and the Mist Illusion Realm outside, even if a Tier 3 Demon King comes, they can't break through the island's defenses," Qin Ming said confidently, with a cool demeanor. Upon hearing this, Wu Jiang gasped in shock. A Tier 3 array? That's fantastic. While shocked, he felt a sense of relief and gratitude, grateful he'd secured Qin Ming's support early on. Otherwise, the Wu family might have been wiped out by the spreading beast tide. Upon learning the news, Wu Jiang hurried back to inform his clan members. Phew! After returning to the island, Qin Ming took a stroll around his spirit field, checked his spirit plants, and then put the silver-winged frost bees back. His next plan was to continue ripening the spirit vein enhancement entry on the spirit-transforming demon grass in advance. Unfortunately, he had no leaf of space-time entry left, so he needed to plant some low-tier spirit plants in the next 2 months and produce a few ripening entries. Then, Qin Ming took out the innate earth. The moment the profound black light appeared, even the life-bound spirit plant longevity vine beside it reacted. It was obviously extremely delighted by the aura of the innate earth. Thus, he simply buried the innate earth under the roots of the longevity vine. In an instant, a profound heaven and earth energy issued from the innate earth, spreading towards the spiritual soil of the entire island. The nearby spirit fields and spiritual soil seemed to be nourished, growing like bamboo shoots after a rain. Even the sunwood spirit soil under the 2 spirit-transforming demon grasses grew to twice its original size, expanding to an area of over 2 feet. The spirit fields on the spirit island, although not growing as fast as the sunwood spirit soil, were also observed by Qin Ming's divine, thought to be slowly expanding outward. He believed that with the accumulation of time, the area of Wanhua Island would grow larger and larger. After finishing these tasks, Qin Ming planted over 100 low-tier spirit plants in the medicinal garden again. Next was the pill refinement. He took out the blood-bone pill formula and the blood-evil pill formula he had purchased and carefully studied them for a few days. Once Qin Ming had studied them sufficiently, he took out the blood and flesh of the double-pupil demon ape to start refining pills. For Qin Ming's current alchemy Tao level, the difficulty of making these 2 types of spirit pills was not very high. After 7 or 8 days of overnight refinement, Qin Ming successfully produced over 10 bottles of blood-bone pills and more than 20 bottles of blood-evil pills. This was mainly thanks to the abundant quantity of the double-pupil demon ape's blood and flesh. Such high-level qi blood pills would provoke innumerable cultivators to compete fiercely for just a single one. Qin Ming picked up a blood-red blood-evil pill, observed it carefully for a while, and immediately the dense qi blood power emanated from the pill, stirring Qin Ming's heart spirit. This is the legendary spiritual pill that many body-refining cultivators dream of, the Tier 2 middle-grade blood-evil pill. Let me taste it and see if it is as formidable as the rumors claim. Without further hesitation, Qin Ming swallowed the blood-evil pill in his hand. Boom! Suddenly, an extremely pure medicinal power spread throughout his body, rushing towards his limbs and bones. Waves of overwhelming qi blood power continuously washed over Qin Ming's physical body, transforming into strands of innate gang qi, merging into his true gang, making his true qi blood spirit even more condensed, constantly progressing towards the conditions required for the 3rd transformation of true gang. A few hours later, after consuming 1 blood-evil pill and 1 blood-bone pill, Qin Ming's qi blood increased again, and at this pace of cultivation. After consuming this batch of pills, he estimated he would soon be able to accumulate his qi blood true gang to the level of the 3rd transformation. Upon finishing his cultivation, Qin Ming exited the cave mansion. In just a few days, Wu Jiang had already brought the clansmen from White Rock Island back to Wanhua Island and was orderly assigning tasks. Seeing Qin Ming emerge, Wu Jiang quickly addressed him. Fellow Taoist Qin, it happened just as you expected. Just the night before last, a beast tide erupted in the Beast Roar Mountain range, of considerable scale. Vast Sea Immortal City and nearby cultivation influences were the first ones to be impacted. Vast Sea Immortal City was not too bad, but the other influences were unlucky, nearly razed to the ground without the protection of a Tier 3 array. Reportedly, there were high casualties. Qin Ming showed an unsurprised expression and nodded. It came rather swiftly. Wu Jiang, seeing Qin Ming's lack of reaction, was already accustomed and continued. According to the latest notice from the 72 Taoist Loose Alliance, the first wave of the beast disaster will not temporarily affect the Spirit Nest Islands. The Loose Alliance has united many Spirit Island clans to set up a defensive line using islands such as Juring Island, Huangfeng Island, Gulong Island, Qinyuan Island, planning to unite all capable forces to intercept the beast tide outside, to overcome the difficulties together. Qin Ming also generally understood the essence of this beast tide as being due to the overly abundant species of demon beasts within the Beast Roar Mountain range, with very strong reproductive abilities. Those newly born high-tier demon beasts drove out some demon beast clans from inside to outside. The Beast Roar Mountain range is immensely vast. Therefore, not only the Wei Country Cultivation Realm, but even the other Yuan Country, Liang Country, and Jin Country, the three cultivation realms, would likely encounter this historically unprecedented beast disaster. Driven out beast hordes, in order to accelerate reproduction and obtain living resources, would prioritize attacking cultivator settlements. After all, ordinary mortal flesh is not very useful to demon beasts, but cultivators are different. The blood and flesh of cultivators nurtured by spiritual qi are extremely precious nourishment to these desperate demon beasts, like fireflies in the dark. By the way, fellow Taoist Qin, apart from the beast disaster matter, I also received extremely explosive news. Wu Jiang said, pausing here and intentionally keeping Qin Ming in suspense. With a faint smile on his face, Qin Ming casually asked, "What's the matter?" Ahem. It said a new hero has emerged in the Wei Country Cultivation Realm, known as Long Daoist, who recently showcased great prowess at the Forbidden Ridge, effortlessly defeating Ling Huyang, making even Wei Wuya retreat 3 steps. Now the name of this hero has spread throughout the cultivation realm, and discussions about this topic are everywhere, truly in the spotlight. Upon hearing this, the smile on Qin Ming's face instantly froze. Vast Sea Immortal City. The members of the Feng family felt like they were living in a dream, a fantasy beyond belief, over the past few days. Feng Sihai could hardly believe any of it was real, for when he brought his family across vast distances to the outskirts of Vast Sea Immortal City. According to fellow Taoist Long's instructions, after handing the Jade Scroll to the city guard, only moments passed before a white-robed mid-stage Foundation establishment steward personally came out to meet them, and with only a few words, arrange a place for the Feng family to stay in the inner city. Feng Sihai began to doubt reality, never imagining that one day the Feng family could move into such a grand cultivation city and even settle in the inner area. This was something many families could never achieve in a lifetime. Moreover, the personal reception by Lu Yang left everyone in the Feng family awestruck and honored. It seems fellow Taoist Long's true identity is not a mere cultivator. His cultivation is evidently far higher than we imagined, Feng Sihai exclaimed after moving into the new residence. Until one day, he saw the 3 words Long Taoist on the Foundation establishment list posted at the gate of Vast Sea Immortal City, with an illustration of a familiar bearded man next to it. Ranked 3rd in Wei Country Cultivation Realm's Foundation establishment list. Long Taoist. Gasp. Feng Sihai drew a sharp breath, feeling overwhelmed. I never expected fellow Taoist Long to hide so deeply, being a senior at the Foundation establishment stage. And indeed, a top-tier Foundation establishment cultivator. 2 months later, the beast tide had arrived at the Spirit Nest Islands. On Wangwei Island, the low-tier spiritual herbs that Qin Ming had previously planted matured, and after harvesting these crops, 7. Ripening. Entries appeared instantly in his mind. Then he approached his life-bound spirit plant longevity vine, consuming these 7 entries to ripen all the demon flowers on it. 3 days later, 3 golden entries caught his eye. Name: Longevity Vine Entry, Weak Lifespan X5, Harvestable. Name: Longevity Vine Entry, Leaf of Spacetime X5, Harvestable. Name: Longevity Vine Entry, Strong Purity X5, Harvestable. After harvesting all the black spirit fruits from the vine, 3 blue leaf entries appeared in Qin's mind. He first utilized the weak lifespan X5. Instantly, a power of time descended upon Qin Ming, extending his lifespan by 50 years, reaching over 550 years of longevity. Qin Ming was only 42 years old. With more than 500 years left, he could outlive a golden core ancestor under normal circumstances. Next, he used 5 strong purity entries, refining the liquid mana in his mana lake several times over. His internal mana became increasingly pure, surpassing the quality of the mana held by those talented Foundation establishment cultivators. This purification would greatly aid him in the future when breaking through to the golden core stage, where purer mana means a smoother process in condensing pill. Then, Qin Ming approached the 2-tier 3 spirit plants spirit-transforming demon grass, and upon the newly grown demon grass, he used a leaf of space-time entry. In a split second, the spirit-transforming demon grass began to grow frantically, blooming and fruiting within days, and after summoning a swarm of bees for pollination, it bore 3 earthy yellow spirit-transforming demon fruits. Soon, a dazzling golden entry appeared in Qin Ming's sight. Name: Spirit-Transforming Demon Grass Entry, Spirit Vein Enhancement, Harvestable. Just like last time, Qin Ming used a small jade knife to carefully harvest the 3 spiritual fruits. A Spirit Vein Enhancement. Purple leaf entry peacefully appeared within his sea of consciousness. Qin Ming's lips curled into a smile. As expected, a purple leaf entry. Without much thought, he used the entry on Wanghua Island. Rumble. At the moment Qin Ming used the entry, a mysterious power descended upon his Wanghua Island. After observing with divine thought, Qin Ming discovered deep within Wanghua Island's spirit veins emerged a mushroom-like spirit marrow sumaru tai sui. As it absorbed spiritual qi, it periodically excreted some spirit or marrow, continuously nourishing and strengthening the spirit vein core. Qin Ming clearly felt, as more and more spirit or marrow was produced, the Tier 2 middle-grade spirit vein on Wanghua Island slightly enhanced, pushing toward the high-grade level. According to the entry's description, feeding this spirit marrow sumaru tai sui spiritual materials can accelerate its growth, hastening the spirit vein enhancement. With this in mind, Qin Ming took out the cyan Simurgh sword, creating a passage directly to the spirit marrow tai sui's resting place. Half an hour later, Qin Ming gazed upon the watermelon-sized pink mushroom mass, pondering, "Is this the spirit marrow sumaru tai sui?" Then, he retrieved numerous spiritual materials from his storage pouch, most looted and acquired through battle, yet to be dealt with. Without a care, he threw them all to the spirit marrow sumaru tai sui before him. Upon devouring these spiritual materials, the tai sui's body instantly expanded several times over. Beneath its body, it began rapidly producing a vast quantity of spirit or marrow, integrating it into the spirit veins. Shortly thereafter, the concentration of spiritual qi in the air dramatically increased, and the spirit vein beneath Wanghua Island's main peak instantly rose to Tier 2 high grade. Still not enough. Qin Ming gazed at the spirit marrow sumaru tai sui, then opened his storage pouch, tossing over a large bag of spirit stones, totaling over 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. After devouring these spirit stones, the tai sui's body writhed wildly, swelling and growing into a small fleshy hill, reaching 3 zhang in size. Gurgle gurgle, the vibrant 5-colored spirit or marrow, exuding astonishing spirit essence, poured forth from the tai sui at an astonishing rate, merging with the spirit veins. The quality of the spirit veins on Wanghua Island began to climb rapidly. Boom! Finally, an immense aura of spiritual qi spread out from the main peak, radiating in all directions. Qin Ming immediately felt that with each breath he took, the spiritual qi on the island suddenly elevated by an entire level. The dense spiritual qi continuously erupted from the spirit vein, dispersing into the surrounding air. Such astonishing changes made the island's spirit plants unfurl with joy, eagerly absorbing the spiritual qi. The Tier 3 low-grade spiritual vein is complete. Qin Ming's face showed intense excitement as he noticed the spirit vein within the island had grown significantly. The profound turtle sea covering array is a Tier 3 middle-grade grand array. I'll try to elevate it to a Tier 3 middle-grade spirit vein. Qin Ming immediately gritted his teeth and fed a large number of spiritual materials to the spirit marrow, Sumru Taisui, and also threw in 1,000 middle-grade spirit stones. Suddenly, after absorbing so many spiritual materials, the body of the spirit marrow Sumru Taisui transformed into a flesh mountain of 6 zhang in size, discharging a large amount of spirit or marrow, which then merged into the spirit vein of Wangyue Island. Half a month later, as expected, the spirit vein environment of the main peak of Wangyue Island was elevated to a Tier 3 middle grade level. Qin Ming originally wanted to see if he could enhance the spirit vein to a Tier 3 high grade. But no matter how much Qin Ming fed it afterward, the spirit marrow Sumru Taisui no longer grew. It seems that it reached some kind of limit, and if it were to advance further, it might require using the legendary high-grade spirit stones. After all, it corresponds to a Tier 3 high-grade spirit vein. Nonetheless, elevating the spirit vein of Wangyue Island to Tier 3 middle grade, Qin Ming was already extremely satisfied. Now, the core site of Qin Ming's cultivation on Wangyue Island was a Tier 3 middle grade spirit vein environment. The outer main peak spirit fields were in a Tier 3 low-grade spirit vein environment, and the area under the main peak had all turned into Tier 2 high-grade spirit veins. Underneath Wangyue Island, the people of the Wu family were busy farming, but they were surprised to find that the aura environment on the spirit island was gradually changing over time, as if spiritual qi was reviving. Even the area they were in elevated step by step from a Tier 1 high-grade spiritual vein environment to a Tier 2 high-grade level. What's happening? Why has the island's spiritual qi increased so much all of a sudden? Could it be fellow Taoist Qin? Wu Jiang was full of doubts, but when he arrived at the base of the main peak, he was utterly stunned. A Tier 3 spirit vein environment. Feeling the thick spiritual qi, he was completely dumbfounded. Fellow Taoist Qin, what on earth happened on the spirit island? Why did the spiritual qi environment change so drastically? Qin Ming smiled warmly at Wu Jiang and said, "Fellow Taoist Wu, I have good news for you. Just recently, I accidentally discovered a hidden Tier 3 spirit vein deep within our Wangyue Island. Due to some special reasons, this spirit vein hadn't revealed itself. A few days ago, I used some special means to fully guide this Tier 3 spirit vein out. From now on, whether we cultivate or grow spirit plants, it will be like a fish in water." Ha ha ha. After saying this, Qin Ming happily patted Wu Jiang on the shoulder. "Is this for real?" Wu Jiang was in disbelief, feeling an inexplicable joy that was hard to describe in words. He was engulfed in ecstasy, never imagining that one day, the Wu family would be able to cultivate beneath a high-tier spirit vein. Cough. By the way, about the discovery of the Tier 3 spirit vein on the spirit island, don't spread this around yet, and make sure your family members keep quiet to avoid unnecessary attention, Qin Ming advised meaningfully. Wu Jiang hurriedly nodded like a pecking chicken. "Don't worry, fellow Taoist Qin, I understand this." "Good then. Your beesfong rice is almost fully planted, and the spirit vein environment on the spirit island shouldn't go to waste either. I will sell you the spirit seeds of the Tier 2 spirit plant, 5-colored spirit rice, to try cultivating and planting them. Once it matures, I'll charge the usual 30% spirit field rent. How about that?" Qin Ming suddenly thought of something and then asked Wu Jiang. Wu Jiang was overjoyed to hear this and quickly nodded in agreement, receiving a small bag of 5-colored spirit rice seeds from Qin Ming, and subsequently took out the corresponding spirit stones to pay Qin Ming. The 5-colored spirit rice is unlike Tier 1 spirit plants. It is quite difficult. You should be prepared for long-term failures. This jade scroll here contains some insights from my previous experience growing 5-colored spirit rice. Take it and study it. Qin Ming naturally hoped that Wu Jiang would successfully plant the spirit rice to ensure rent collection. Thank you, fellow Taoist Qin. Wu Jiang gratefully accepted the jade scroll, making it seem as if he saw an infinitely bright and glorious path unfolding slowly before him. Growing spirit rice to bring glory to the ancestors. Within Wanghua Lake, the profound water crocodile that was napping seemed to sense the immense change on the spirit island. Its massive body transformed into a dark golden stream of light, diving into the spirit island and climbing underneath the longevity vine, starting to cultivate with the help of the Tier 3 spirit vein. In Qin Ming's life-bound spirit plant, the longevity vine, provided with the Tier 3 middle-grade spirit vein environment, stretched its tendrils, growing even more lushly, as if it was breathing on its own. The changes are quite profound. Then, Qin Ming took out the set of Tier 3 middle-grade array, the profound turtle sea covering array. According to the deployment method from the Jade Scroll, he spent 3 days encircling the entirety of Wanghua Island, laying down a Tier 3 grand array with a Tier 3 middle-grade spirit vein at the main peak's core. Suddenly, the array merged with the mountains, rivers, and lakes, forming its own domain. Buzz. In the moment when Qin Ming planted the last array flag, on the main peak, a surge of spiritual qi shot skyward, pouring into the turtle shell-shaped array core. Above Wanghua Island, a vast golden light curtain suddenly descended, resembling a gigantic turtle shell enveloping the entire island, with countless runes swimming on the surface of the shell, exuding astonishing power. The Tier 3 grand array is complete. The moment the array was completed, a profound spiritual mechanism surged up on Wanghua Island, resonating with the spiritual qi between heaven and earth. From then on, Wanghua Island took on the semblance of a grand island. This Tier 3 middle-grade grand array from the Thunder Origin Sect is indeed worth every spirit stone. Quite impressive, Qin Ming remarked with a faint smile, hands clasped behind his back as he gazed up at the sky. The people of the Wu family also noticed this development and curiously looked at the massive, turtle shell-like light barrier above the celestial vault in awe. To think I've lived this long, and it's the first time I've personally experienced the protection of a Tier 3 grand array. My life is worthwhile, ha ha ha. Clan leader Wu Hanyuan of the Wu family side. Wu Jiang chuckled, saying, "How about it, old man? I made the right choice back then. If I hadn't been stubborn and ventured into the Yunhuang Marsh, I wouldn't have met fellow Taoist Qin. Back then, I could already tell with my keen insight that fellow Taoist Qin was no ordinary person and would surely soar to great heights. Now look at Wanghua Island. The spirit vein has been enhanced, and even a Tier 3 middle-grade grand array has been set up. Nowadays, even Phoenix Perch Island at the Loose Alliance headquarters can't compare to this. I've seen potential in you since you were young. From now on, Wanghua Island is truly impregnable." 2 days later, Qin Ming was meditating in seclusion within his cave mansion. Suddenly, he abruptly opened his eyes. Above Wanghua Island, a demonic wind raged. Dozens of black demon birds circled within the clouds above. 3 or 4 among them exuded an aura reaching early stage Tier 2, while the rest were at Tier 1 mid to late stages. The people of the Wu family, being mere qi cultivation novices, also sensed these fearsome demon beasts. Even with the protection of a Tier 3 grand array, the sight of a beast tide made them visibly uneasy. No need to worry, they're just some stragglers passing by, likely trying to bypass the Loose Alliance's defenses and enter the Spirit Nest Islands, Qin Ming calmly noted, glancing up. The profound water crocodile and silver-winged frostbee below were already eager to act, but Qin Ming signaled them to hold off. If they were to slay the demon birds above, it might attract an even larger demon beast clan, turning Wanghua Island into a battlefield, which would be undesirable. As expected, the group of demon beasts hovered in the sky for half a day, unable to see through the pink mist below, and dared not approach. Eventually, they flew off southward. 3 months after the beast tide hit, the outskirts of the Spirit Nest Islands also began to show traces of demon beasts. The signs of the beast tide had actually begun to appear years ago. Back when Liang was leading the scout camp, he had noticed frequent disturbances among the demon beasts in the Beast Roar Mountain Range. Furthermore, when the double-pupil demon ape clans sought vengeance against the Spirit Nest Islands, it escalated the conflict between the demon beasts and the human race. From a news Qin Ming received from Aunt Long of the Mirror Snow Pavilion, the scale of this beast tide could possibly exceed imagination. Both Vast Sea Immortal City and the major sects in the Cultivation Realm have issued numerous tasks, calling upon disciples and loose cultivators to hunt down demon beasts at the front lines. Many demon-hunting cultivators seeking fortune by acquiring materials from demon beasts are also emerging in large numbers. In addition to guarding the lines and hunting demon beasts, there are backline cultivators using demon beast materials to forge talismans, pills, and magical artifacts. The 100 skills of cultivation. These cultivators will also receive higher rewards than usual. Though Qin Ming decided against confronting the demon beasts after discussions with the Loose Alliance, he agreed to occasionally supply some battle necessity pills. This was his way of contributing to the cultivation realm within the Spirit Nest Islands. After all, if the demon beasts managed to conquer the Spirit Nest Islands, he would truly be stranded on a lone island. 2 more months passed. News arrived from the front lines that this beast tide was no ordinary event. Even Celestial River Market and several Foundation Establishment Spirit Island clans had been overrun and devoured by the beast tide. The market prices for talismans, pills, magical artifacts, arrays, and spirit rice consistently skyrocketed. In particular, therapeutic and life-saving supplies were extremely scarce, skyrocketing to more than 10 times their usual price while still unable to meet the demand. The stock of golden spirit rice, beast fong rice, 5-colored rice, and a small amount of spirit nesting rice in Qin Ming's possession had been depleting rapidly and was partially sold to the Loose Alliance. Fortunately, with the Wu family farming on Wangyue Island, the stock of spirit rice remained substantial. In addition, Qin Ming utilized demon beast materials supplied by the Loose Alliance to craft many therapeutic pills and a few Tier 2 spiritual pills, which he then sold together to them. Unexpectedly, the arrival of the beast tide had brought great fortune to Qin Ming, a loose cultivator who rarely ventured beyond his seclusion. The intensity of the beast tide far exceeded the expectations of the Loose Alliance's upper echelon, depleting their pill reserves almost completely within just a few months. In the face of such a calamity, it was indeed challenging to remain unaffected. Even the Thunder Origin Sect and Spirit Feather Sect, whose conflict had escalated to the point of hostility, had to shelve their grievances temporarily to address the issue of the beast tide first. On this day, Qin Ming was about to tend to the spirit field when his communication talisman delivered an incoming message. Upon checking, it turned out the 72-island Loose Alliance was once again seeking to purchase pills. Thus, he set down the spiritual hoe in his hand and flew out of Wangyue Island. Several Dharma ships of the Loose Alliance were hovering and docking near Wangyue Island. Seeing Qin Ming had come out, an elder in gray robes from the main ship hurriedly welcomed him. This elder was at the mid-stage Foundation Establishment Cultivation, yet he still respectfully saluted Qin Ming. Fellow Taoist Qin, the battle ahead is truly intense. Out of desperation, I must trouble you again to refine a batch of spirit pills. This gray-robed elder was named Zhou Ping, one of the newly appointed elders of the Loose Alliance. Fellow Taoist Zhou, there's no need for such courtesy. I just happen to have recently refined several batches of rejuvenation pills, recovery pills, and Ginshue pills. I was just about to have Wu Jiang deliver them to you. I didn't expect you to come just in time. Qin Ming smiled slightly, patted his storage pouch, and took out dozens of bottles of pills, including combat, recovery, and life-saving types. Zhou Ping was overjoyed upon hearing this and sincerely thanked Qin Ming. Thank you, fellow Taoist Qin. For our spirit nest islands to have such a virtuous and talented alchemy master and spirit plant master like you is truly a blessing. If it weren't for you, we would have had to take a detour to vast sea Immortal City to get these pills, facing the threat of demon beasts along the way. It would have been time-consuming and laborious, extending our supply line. You have no idea. Some other immortal cities have fallen and been destroyed due to not receiving these emergency resources in time, resulting in massacres and unimaginable tragedies. Fellow Taoist Joe, you don't have to be so polite. I'm just providing what little help I can. Qin Ming waved his hand. Zhou Ping put away the pills and took out a thick bag of spirit stones from his storage pouch, handing it to Qin Ming. Fellow Taoist Qin, please check if these spirit stones are sufficient. Qin Ming took the spirit stone bag, felt it slightly, and with a smile, accepted it without even looking at it. These spirit stones are more than sufficient. The people of the Loose Alliance showed real sincerity. For just this batch of pills, they gave him over 200 middle-grade spirit stones, equating to over 20,000 low-grade spirit stones. Afterward, Zhou Ping handed Qin Ming a pile of demon beast blood and flesh materials, entrusting him to refine some pills when he had time. Fellow Taoist Qin, I have a mission. With the situation urgent ahead, I must return immediately, so I won't linger any longer. Zhou Ping cupped his hands and said, HM. Suddenly, just as Qin Ming was about to bid farewell to Zhou Ping and the others, his divine thought moved. He detected in the sky, 10 miles away, hundreds of demon birds were swooping down, covering the sky, advancing toward them. This group of demon beasts must have had their eyes on Zhou Ping's fleet all along, hidden among the clouds, extremely well concealed and hard to detect. The leading demon beast had wings spreading 7 to 8 zhang wide. The wings shrouded in a silver electric glow. It was unmistakably a Tier 2 late-stage thunder rock. Hold your positions. Qin Ming frowned and hastily called out to Zhou Ping and his people. Zhou Ping was initially puzzled, but he managed to smile and asked, Fellow Taoist Qin, is there something else? Have your men prepare for battle immediately. A group of flying demon beasts is rushing over here, likely aiming at you. Qin Ming quickly and sternly said, What? Zhou Ping was stunned. He quickly sent out his divine thought to investigate, but couldn't detect even a trace of a demon beast. But surely, fellow Taoist Qin wouldn't joke about such matters. Could it be that his divine thought far surpasses mine at mid-stage foundation establishment? Though alchemy masters often have stronger divine thoughts than ordinary cultivators, he hadn't expected fellow Taoist Qin's divine thought to be this formidable. There was no time for him to ponder. Zhou Ping immediately flew back to the ship, gathering his mana and shouting loudly, Beast attack! It's imminent. Prepare for battle immediately. Instantly, the cultivators on the 3 Dharma ships all reacted as if facing a great enemy. Under the officer's command, they swiftly loaded spirit stones into the spiritual energy cannons. The war cultivators with higher cultivation stood at the ship's bow, taking out their magical artifacts, ready to engage the demon beasts. Oh, Qin Ming saw their stance, unable to help but shake his head. The cultivators on these Dharma ships were mostly in the Qi cultivation stage, with only 3, including Zhou Ping, at the foundation establishment stage. Probably not even enough to serve as tea filler for the Tier 2 late-stage Thunder Rock. Quickly, within less than half a cup of tea's time, in the distant celestial vault, a densely packed horde of demon beasts loomed, the demon Qi soaring to the sky like an overwhelming cloud closing in on them. The people of the Loose Alliance paled at the view, and when Zhou Ping realized the Thunder Rock's presence, his face turned ghostly pale, and his heart sank into despair. But as a Loose Alliance elder, he didn't lose his composure in this critical moment, beginning to make strategic arrangements swiftly and orderly. Fellow Taoist Qin, you should quickly retreat into the island and hide. We will handle it here. Zhou Ping urgently transmitted a message to Qin Ming. In a few breaths, the Loose Alliance's fleet and the attacking demon beasts clashed, and multicolored magic suddenly blossomed in the sky over Wanghua Lake. Squaw! Suddenly, a fierce wind blew, and after a flash of lightning and a roar of thunder, a giant thunder rock, shrouded in silver electric arcs, its vast wings spreading and covering the sky, suddenly appeared over the ships. At the same time, the pressure of a Tier 2 late-stage Great Demon descended. The spiritual energy cannons from the Dharma ships bombarded the Thunder Rock as if merely tickling it. Silver arcs flickered around it as it easily warded off all these magic attacks. The Thunder Rock flapped its wings, unleashing countless electric arcs, hitting several loose Alliance cultivators, who were instantly blasted into countless pieces, falling from the sky. Its offspring let out shrill cries, swooping down swiftly to devour the blood and flesh entirely. Damn, it's a Tier 2 late-stage Great Demon. We're doomed. The cultivators on the Dharma ships became engulfed in despair, lamenting helplessly. Qin Ming knew this group from the Loose Alliance was no match for these demon beasts, thinking to himself, "Enough, it's just as well I'm short on alchemical materials. Let's use this Thunder Rock's flesh and blood for pill refinement." He promptly contacted the profound water crocodile with a thought. "Laser Bones, time to work. The Thunder Rock's demon pill will be yours." Roar! Just when the people of the Loose Alliance were in utter despair, a tremendous roar echoed through the skies. Splash! Everyone's attention was immediately captured, only to see a giant crocodile demon beast, 20 zhang long, burst from the depths of Wanghua Lake, causing a mighty surge and exuding an even more terrifying aura. The Loose Alliance members were struck with terror. There's another great demon from below. They were about to turn their cannon aim at the profound water crocodile. Qin Ming quickly stopped them. "Fellow Taoist Zhou, this profound water crocodile is my spirit pet, here to aid you." "What? Oh, everyone halt. It's fellow Taoist Qin's spirit pet, here to assist us." The profound water crocodile, with its icy, remorseless vertical pupils, focused intently on the Tier 2 late-stage Thunder Rock. Its mouth watering uncontrollably. Then it bellowed furiously skyward, and with a swift swing, lunged towards the Thunder Rock. In the sky, from a moment the Tier 2 Great Demon Thunder Rock appeared, it also noticed the presence of the profound water crocodile. Yet, what enraged it was that the opponent was actually the beast pet of that plain-looking human race cultivator. Caw! The Thunder Rock glared sharply and let out a screech. It couldn't stand those demon beasts that willingly became human race beast pets. Crackle! Arcs of electricity flickered, and suddenly the aura of the Thunder Rock surged. Its claws, capable of easily piercing through cultivators' magical artifacts, entangled with the power of thunder, spread open its massive wings and swooped towards the profound water crocodile. Boom! The Tier 2 Great Demons collided mid-air, erupting into a dazzling burst of light. The surrounding air suddenly exploded, sending a shockwave spreading in all directions. The nearby low-tier demon beasts were shaken and dizzy, falling down. Then, the two demon beasts began to fight fiercely in the air, causing thunder roars and air turbulence, leading to mountains crumbling and the earth shattering. The fierce wind generated by the battle shockwaves even sliced off more than half of the bow of a Loose Alliance Dharma ship. Even with its razor-sharp Thunder Divine technique and extremely sharp claws, the Thunder Rock couldn't penetrate the defense of the profound water crocodile's dark gold scale armor. Instead, the profound water crocodile calmly swung, its giant tail shimmering with thunder power, striking the Thunder Rock's back hard. Thud! The Thunder Rock took the hit squarely and was knocked down over 30 yards in an instant. A sliver of fresh blood seeped from its sharp beak, and it gazed at the profound water crocodile with some disbelief. It never thought a mid-stage Foundation establishment demon beast could actually inflict harm on it. It should be known that it possessed Earth-grade bloodline talent. The Thunder Rock put away its contempt, no longer engaging in close combat, but relied on speed to constantly maneuver and attempt to exhaust the profound water crocodile. Yet, After chasing and wrangling for half an hour, regardless of how the thunder rock flew and retreated, it could never escape the pursuit of the profound water crocodile. Eventually, the thunder rock became anxious. As a clan leader, it had always maintained a high status, enjoying the authority brought by its noble bloodline. When had it ever endured such frustration? Being chased off like a rat by a profound water crocodile. Even if it won, it would be looked down upon by other clans upon returning to the Beast Roar Mountain range. Thinking of this, the Thunder Rock's eyes flashed with a little ferocity, letting out a sharp cry, then unleashed its most powerful life-bound bloodline divine technique. Only to see its sharp mouth open, the silver thunder around its body all gathered in front of its mouth, and continually spat out a fierce wind, coalescing into a massive magic sphere intertwined with wind and thunder. The dreadful power of magic suddenly descended upon this world. The cultivators of the Loose Alliance, looking at this scene, trembling with fear, knew that if this great demon's innate divine technique hit the Dharma ship, there would be no way of resisting it. Unwilling to be outdone, the profound water crocodile opened its huge mouth, the dark gold scales on its back lighting up successively, connecting into a sheet. It too unleashed its advanced life-bound bloodline divine technique, Earth God Thunder. A mass of golden thunder gathered in its mouth, expanding outward continuously. Almost simultaneously, the two thunder element great demons activated their life-bound bloodline divine techniques. Crack and rumble, two brilliant divine techniques, one gold, one silver, one up, one down, met in mid-air, then quickly collided together. The air erupted with a might similar to a thunder tribulation. Electric arcs exploded, and nearby demon beasts were turned to flying ash. Many demon birds scattered and fled, fearing being drawn into the range of the two great demons' divine techniques. All eyes were focused on this earth-shaking duel. Sizzle. The profound water crocodile's eyes were cold. The thunder divine technique in its mouth suddenly powered up again. A soul pressure emerged from its body, resembling the king of 10,000 beasts. A strange golden rune floated out of the profound water crocodile's brow, merging into the thunder. The golden earth god, Thunder, abruptly expanded twofold, instantly engulfing the wind and thunder released by the Thunder Rock, then blasted towards the opponent. In the Thunder Rock's eyes, a golden flash was reflected, and simultaneously a natural suppression from its bloodline reverberated deep in its soul, instantly revealing a look of fear in its eyes. How is this possible? Celestial grade bloodline. Rumble. The earth god Thunder, spewed by the profound water crocodile, struck the Thunder Rock fiercely. Thunder roared, instantly engulfing it. A massive body fell sluggishly from the sky amidst a burst of blood mist. The Thunder Rock wasn't dead yet, still holding on by a thread, intending to self-destruct its demon pill and perish alongside. But the profound water crocodile turned into an arc of electricity, instantly appeared in front of it, opened its blood-stained mouth, and bit off its neck. Blood gushed from the Thunder Rock's neck. The Thunder Rock's gaze was filled with unwillingness, sinking into an endless darkness. In the sky, seeing their clan leader killed, a multitude of demon birds dispersed in panic. The remaining Foundation establishment, great demons, looked at the profound water crocodile in terror, turning and fleeing. A moment ago, the sky was shrouded with dark clouds, but suddenly became clear and boundless. The cultivators on the Loose Alliance Dharma ship, while feeling the relief of surviving a catastrophe, were also stunned beyond words by the scene that had just unfolded. The late-stage tier 2 Thunder Rock Great Demon, with its formidable strength, not even the human race's Foundation establishment perfection could be its match, yet was crushed by Qin Ming's beast pet. Zhou Ping looked at Qin Ming with awe in his eyes. Such a terrifyingly powerful beast pet. It was cultivated by a spirit plant master. With the Thunder Rock's corpse in its mouth, the profound water crocodile returned to Qin Ming's side, arrogantly raising its head. Well done, There will be a hefty reward later. Fellow Taoist Qin raised his hand towards the Thunder Rock's corpse and stored it in the storage pouch. He then let the profound water crocodile leave. After doing all this, Zhou Ping from the Loose Alliance flew over and deeply bowed toward Qin Ming. Thank you, fellow Taoist Qin, for your rescue. Otherwise, we would have met a terrible fate. Fellow Taoist Zhou, you mustn't say that. In the face of a beast catastrophe, helping each other is what we should do. Qin Ming quickly helped Zhou Ping up. After exchanging pleasantries, Zhou Ping's Dharma ship from the Loose Alliance quickly tidied up the battlefield and rapidly left Wangyue Lake. Wangyue Island. Qin Ming returned to the island with the profound water crocodile. Wu Jiang gulped nervously and asked Qin Ming, fellow Taoist Qin, did something happen out there? Why was there the sound of a fight with a beast horde? It's nothing. The Loose Alliance's fleet got targeted by a group of demon beasts, but it's been dealt with. Qin Ming spoke as if it was a trivial matter. Oh, good then. Wu Jiang breathed a sigh of relief upon hearing this. Qin Ming smiled slightly and patted his shoulder. Don't worry. Rest assured to farm your land. There is no safer place than here. Wu Jiang nodded repeatedly and continued to call his clan members to farm. Qin Ming returned to the front of the cave mansion, threw the Thunder Rock's corpse on the ground, and took out a demon pill from its head. It unexpectedly carries a trace of Thunder Flood Dragon bloodline. No wonder its power is much stronger than ordinary Tier 2 late-stage beasts. He observed and studied the Thunder Rock's demon pill in his hand. But at his feet, the profound water crocodile had already drooled all over the place. All right, take it. Qin Ming casually tossed the demon pill to the profound water crocodile and also took out a spirit-transforming demon fruit from the storage pouch to give to it. I've nearly fed you Tier 3 spirit transformation demon fruit like meals. This time you must break through to the later stage, or I'll consider eating crocodile meat. The profound water crocodile became excited immediately, affectionately rubbed against Qin Ming's pant leg, and then happily crawled back to its lair with the two spiritual objects in its mouth. Qin Ming dismembered the Thunder Rock's body, collected its essence, blood, and flesh, and separately took down its pair of thunder wings and claws, sealing them with a sealing spirit talisman. These items are rare refining materials and would fetch a fortune if sold outside. In the following period, the area around Wangyue Lake returned to its former tranquility, with only a few demon beasts passing by, but they all skirted around the mist of Wangyue Island. There are also some beasts with poor vision, crashing into the mist illusion realm and turning into blood pearls. Qin Ming gave all the blood pearls to his life-bound spirit plant longevity vine, significantly advancing the cultivation progress of his ancient wood longevity body. On this day, Qin Ming visited Mr. and Mrs. Wu Jiang's wooden house by the lake, asking Mu Ruyan to make a table full of delicacies using leftover demon beast meat from alchemy. Her culinary skills are truly exceptional. The dishes on the table varied, with vivid colors, alluring aromas, and delicious flavors, causing everyone to eat heartily. Qin Ming had tasted many Immortal Mansion delicacies in restaurants, but none compared to those prepared by Mu Ruyan. The couple usually could not taste such rare demon beast meat, which greatly benefited their cultivation growth, so they ate ravenously without care for manners. Qin, fellow Taoist Qin, I heard. Loose Alliance's defensive line at the Spirit Nest Islands is almost untenable. Wu Jiang asked indistinctly, chewing on a piece of unknown but chewy demon beast meat. Qin Ming nodded slightly while eating side dishes. Indeed, at this rate, we might have to seek aid from Vast Sea Immortal City. But under the current circumstances, the city is also busy with its affairs. It's quite difficult. Had I known, I wouldn't have sent my son to Thunder Origin's Sect. Fighting every day, I bet he's not eating as well as me. Wu Jiang exclaimed as he bit a piece of demon beast essence meat fiercely. Mu Ruyan pinched him hard. You're such a spendthrift. Qin Ming was promptly amused by the two. Half a month passed. Since the profound water crocodile swallowed the Thunder Rock's demon pill and ate the Tier 3 spirit transformation demon fruit, it had been a deep sleep showing no signs of waking. Qin Ming even wondered momentarily whether this stubborn creature couldn't withstand the demonic power in the Thunder Rock's demon pill and just perished. But his heart is connected with the profound water crocodile, so even if he couldn't sense its presence, he knew it was still alive. It's just uncertain when it will wake up. Judging by its posture, it might take a year or so. A few days later, Aunt Long from the Mirror Snow Pavilion visited, bringing 5 elements primordial spirit peaches during such chaotic times. Qin Ming quickly welcomed her into the guest welcoming tower and served spirit-gathering tea. Fellow Taoist Qin, you don't know how difficult this journey was. Aunt Long sighed. Qin Ming learned from her that vast sea immortal city was under full lockdown now, making it extremely hard even for Mirror Snow Pavilion members to come out. Then Aunt Long handed over the spirit stones that Gu Qin Zhao was commissioned to sell her spiritual materials by Qin Ming. Lastly, she delivered a jade scroll sent back from Great Jin Immortal Dynasty by Su Yuqing. In such a dangerous situation, troubling fellow Taoist Long to come in person, I'm really sorry. Here is a token of my gratitude. Please accept it. Qin Ming immediately offered a jar of spirit-gathering tea and a jug of spirit fire wine to Aunt Long. Besides, the more effective Jade Qilin wine is about to be completed. Aunt Long's eyes lit up. Truth be told, she knew these 2 items from fellow Taoist Qin would greatly enhance the cultivation of Foundation Establishment cultivators. She had been stuck at early-stage Foundation Establishment for decades. It was tempting, so she accepted them somewhat reluctantly. Aunt Long stayed on Wanwei Island for only half a day, shared the latest intelligence about the Cultivation Realm with Qin Ming, then bid farewell and left. After that, Qin Ming impatiently took out the jade scroll sent by Su Yuqing. He immersed his divine thought in reading it. Upon finishing the content, Qin Ming's expression shifted from delight to shock, then to confusion. In short, it was truly fascinating. In the jade scroll, Su Yuqing expressed astonishment that Qin Ming managed to obtain a Tier 2 perfect level demon ape demon pill, offering ceaseless congratulations and subtly hinting at envy in the lines. He then attached several Tier 2 high-grade pill formula that can use the Tier 2 perfect level demon pill for pill making, their rarity imaginable. Probably even the core area of Vast Sea Immortal City's Pill Furnace Pavilion couldn't acquire such pill formulas. The subsequent content left Qin Ming quite amazed. In a letter, Su Yuqing proudly mentioned he had reached the threshold of a Tier 3 Alchemy Grandmaster, and his cultivation breakthrough was at late-stage Foundation Establishment. With hopes for the Golden Core? Brother Qin, Su knew you sent me so many good things just for the Golden Core Formation pill formula. Haha. But I heard you all had a beast catastrophe outbreak. Are you alright? Golden Core is similarly strategic resource controlled by the nascent Soul Sect. I offered you the pill formula, which could cost my life. However, I know a place to get the pill formula. In Liang Country, inside the profound Creek Valley. Qin Ming was somewhat surprised. The information Su Yuqing gave him was crucial for him. In the Jade Scroll, Su Yuqing further explained that the reason the profound Creek Valley possessed the Golden Core Formation pill formula was due to its founding ancestor. This ancestor was originally a core disciple in the Lihua Palace of the Great Jin Immortal Dynasty, beloved by the Palace Master and held in great esteem. However, after reaching Golden Core perfection in his cultivation realm, he failed repeatedly in advancing to the nascent soul realm. Moreover, he didn't have much lifespan left. Disheartened, he bid farewell to Lihua Palace and returned home to Liang Country, founding the profound Creek Valley. In the Liang Country's cultivation realm, its stability compared to the other 3 kingdoms is mainly due to the legacy left by this founding ancestor, aside from having more than one Golden Core ancestor station there. It's important to note that this is practically a branch of the Lihua Palace. Also, it's said that the profound Creek Valley still maintains contact with Lihua Palace to this day. This is what Foundation means. Qin Ming couldn't help but exclaim. In this light, Spirit Feather Sect and Thunder Origin Sect are nothing compared to profound Creek Valley. but the golden core formation pill formula being in the profound creek valley. How should I go about this? Such an important pill formula is undoubtedly a core secret of the profound creek valley, only held by the highest cultivation golden core ancestor. Am I really going to get the pill formula from the golden core ancestor? It's too difficult. I should first work hard to reach the late-stage foundation establishment before making any plans. The Pill Furnace Pavilion in the core area of the vast Sea Immortal City is backed by the profound Creek Valley. Perhaps I can start from there to gauge the situation before making any decisions. Qin Ming pondered, having already crafted a plan in his mind. Next, Qin Ming took out the five elements primordial spirit peach. If not for the Mirror Snow Pavilion, no force could have sent these extremely rare and delicate spirit plants across thousands of miles to Wanwei Island during the beast tide. He took up the spiritual hoe and picked a good spot at the entrance of his cave mansion to plant the 5 spiritual peach trees separately. Then he used a regenerative spirit seed entry to restore vitality to the spiritual peach trees. Now, Wanwei Island had a Tier 3 middle-grade spiritual vein, more than enough for growing Tier 2 top-grade spirit plants like the 5 elements primordial spirit peach. Moreover, Qin Ming didn't need to exert much energy. The abundant spiritual qi on the island was sufficient for the spirit peach trees to thrive. This was one of the many benefits brought by the enhancement of the spiritual vein. After using the entry, the 5 spirit peach trees appeared reborn, with fresh green buds sprouting out, greedily absorbing the rich spiritual qi in the air. Once the growth of the spirit peach trees stabilizes and they start to bear primordial spirit peaches after acquiring spirit seeds, I can further develop and plant more. Peach Blossom Island, that is. However, to ensure better growth of the spirit peach trees, regular care was still necessary. After planting the 5 elements primordial spirit peach, Qin Ming then went under the purple gold bamboo forest, smacked his lips, and looked expectantly. The Jade Qilin wine should be ready to drink, right? He cast a spell to move the lid of the cellar and entered. Moments later, he emerged with a jar of Jade Qilin wine. Carefully, he opened the seal, feeling a small thrill in his heart, for this was spirit wine capable of enhancing mid to late stage foundation establishment cultivation. In the Wei country's cultivation realm, it's one of a kind. Additionally, according to the senior who created this wine, the flavor of Jade Qilin wine was said to be a pinnacle among wines, capable of intoxicating cultivators, leaving them enchanted. True to the words, they were not an exaggeration. The moment he opened the wine jar, a dreamy, misty white aura flowed out from within. At the same time, a uniquely intense fragrance of spirit wine filled the air, and just by smelling it, Qin Ming felt a sense of enlightenment, lost in its allure. What good wine this is! Qin Ming carried the wine jar to a stone table beside the bamboo forest and took out an exquisite set of drinking vessels from his storage pouch. These vessels were discovered inside Sumeru's storage ring belonging to Zhao Wuji. As the Zhao family's eldest son, he had a collection of many strange and interesting items. Such immortal mansion delicacies shouldn't be consumed hastily, devoured without enjoying. It must be savored slowly. I shall become a wine immortal. Ha ha ha. Qin Ming, in good spirits, laughed heartily, his laughter echoing through the bamboo forest. It seemed the silver-winged frost had caught a whiff of the spirit wine's fragrance, emerging from the hive. Transforming into a streak of silver light, it appeared before Qin Ming, eagerly staring at the jar of Jade Qilin wine. Without bothering with the bee, Qin Ming poured himself a full cup of Jade Qilin wine. The icy jade-colored spirit wine flowed out, surrounded by a white mist, exuding dense spiritual qi in the cup, tantalizing his taste buds. He held the jade cup up, gently inhaling its scent first, before showing an enraptured expression, then downing the spirit wine in one go. Boom! As the spirit wine coursed down his throat. In an instant, Qin Ming felt as if he was sublimated, as if immersed in the jasper pool Immortal Realm, with a luminous sensation enveloping him. An overwhelming spiritual qi surged through his meridians, flowing towards his limbs and trunk, beginning circulation. The medicinal power of the jade Qilin wine was extremely potent. Just moments after drinking it, above Qin Ming's Dantian Sea of Qi, a fine green misty rain began to fall. These small blue rains, without exception, are all liquid mana of the foundation establishment stage. As the blue rain fell, the total amount of liquid mana in Qin Ming's mana lake began to rise continuously. Inside the purple gold forest, Qin Ming sat on a stone bench, his eyes slightly closed, his right hand still in the posture of holding a cup. Feeling the change in cultivation brought by the spirit wine, a faint smile unconsciously appeared at the corner of his mouth. I never thought that jade Qilin wine could allow a foundation establishment cultivator to directly drop liquefied blue rain within the Qi Danian's mana lake, thereby increasing cultivation. The senior who created the wine Immortal Divine formula must have been a person of extraordinary talent, capable of taking a unique path from the Tao of spirit wine and comprehending this method of enhancing cultivation. This kind of Tao of spirit wine is by no means inferior to the high-tier inheritance of the 100 skills of cultivation. To enter the Tao with wine is truly wonderful. After personally experiencing the improvement in cultivation brought by jade Qilin wine, Qin Ming had a renewed understanding of spirit wine. For a long time, he slowly opened his eyes, delighted. Just the spiritual qi contained in this one cup of wine has greatly increased my mana cultivation. That elder indeed did not exaggerate. All right, you've been watching for a long time. Let me pour you a cup as well. Qin Ming looked at the silver-winged frostbee beside him, scratching with its ears in impatience, almost drooling with desire. Although he didn't know what effect the spirit wine would have on demon beasts, he thought that since it was beneficial to cultivators, it should be fine for his beast pet as well. Qin Ming took out a slightly larger seed bowl and filled it with jade Qilin wine for the silver-winged frostbee. Thus, a harmonious scene unfolded. In a bamboo forest, a man and an insect sat together, enjoying the fine wine. In the span of an afternoon, the two of them drank more than half a jug of jade Qilin wine. Qin Ming felt he couldn't drink anymore. The spiritual qi inside him was about to burst out, so he quickly packed up the wine vessels and returned to the cave mansion to refine the medicinal power. After drinking half a jug of jade Qilin wine, he felt his mana cultivation had significantly advanced. As for the silver-winged frostbee, it got completely drunk, lying motionless on the stone table, drooling, seemingly not having had enough. After half a month's seclusion, Qin Ming walked out of the cave mansion full of energy, having completely refined the medicinal power of the jade Qilin wine. His liquid mana had greatly increased, taking a solid step towards the late-stage foundation establishment. Since Wangyue Island's spirit vein environment became Tier 3 middle grade, Qin Ming's cultivation had become even more efficient. Such a spirit vein cultivation environment, even in a major sect, probably only core disciples could enjoy it, right? At this pace, steadily cultivating, it won't be long before I break through to the late-stage foundation establishment. However, who knows when this beast tide will end? During this period, Elder Zhou Ping of the Loose Alliance had visited once or twice, purchasing several batches of spirit pills and some spirit grass from Qin Ming. Qin Ming made a fortune, but he also learned from him that the beast tide, advancing fiercely, was the largest in the cultivation realm of Wei country in centuries. Within the Spirit Nest Islands, large-scale casualties had already begun to occur, and the current situation was extremely dire. After Zhou Ping left, Qin Ming called Wu Jiang over and asked, "Since you're a local, do you know how many times the Beast Roar Mountain Range has experienced beast tides and their scales?" Cough. Fellow Taoist Qin, not to brag, but I'm a person who loves to delve into historical records. Even if it's not vast sea immortal city, I've done some research into the thousands of years of history of the cultivation realm of Wei country, Wu Jiang said confidently, sipping his spirit tea. In the history of vast sea immortal city, the shortest beast tide lasted half a year, while the longest was 18 years. Other medium and small-scale beast tides generally lasted 7 or 8 years. According to my estimation, the scale of this beast tide almost exceeds the largest one in history, and its impact range is vast, so it may last for a considerable time. Qin Ming furrowed his brow. So this round of beast tide might last at least 10 or more, likely 20 to 30 years. Wu Jiang nodded affirmatively. Never mind, fellow Taoist Wu. There are crises outside. Not only are demon beasts rampaging, but evil cultivators taking advantage of a crisis are also emerging one after another. Indeed, it's an age of turmoil. We might as well farm and cultivate in peace on Wanhua Island, thinking it's not an issue to survive this beast disaster. A decade or so is just a blink for cultivators like us. Wu Jiang was more than willing and quickly agreed, but then thought of something and suddenly said, "Fellow Taoist Qin, what I just mentioned isn't absolute. Maybe some turning point will arise, and the beast tide will retreat soon." "Oh, what kind of turning point?" Qin Ming asked, his eyebrow raised in curiosity. Wu Jiang replied, "According to historical records, over 1,000 years ago, within the 4 countries, there was an unprecedented beast disaster. But that time, it coincided with a golden core perfection level ancestor retiring back to Liang country. It was that very ancestor who intervened with overwhelming means, slaying several tier 3 demon kings leading the beast tide, thereby quelling the beast disaster. Otherwise, who knows how many would have perished. I remember, that ancestor was Elder Yun, who founded Profound Creek Valley in Liang country." Qin Ming, upon hearing this, couldn't help but twitch his mouth. Golden core perfection, that's too distant. After chatting with him for half a day, Qin Ming had a meal at Mr. and Mrs. Wu Jiang's wooden house before returning to his cave mansion to cultivate. Passing through the purple gold bamboo forest, he discovered that the silver-winged frost bee was still not awake from its drunken stupor. More than half a month had passed, and it was still lying on the stone table, snoring, with its position unchanged. Qin Ming sensed briefly, only to find that the demonic aura of the silver-winged frost bee had grown significantly, indicating that the jade Qilin wine had also greatly benefited it. And in the spirit field outside his cave mansion, the new spirit nesting rice had lushly grown an inch taller. 3 golden entries suddenly appeared before his eyes. Name, Spirit Nesting Rice Entry. Leaf of Spacetime X5, Maturity 2%. Name, Spirit Nesting Rice Entry. Soul Power Crystal X5, Maturity 3%. Name, Spirit Nesting Rice Entry. Regenerative Spirit Seed X5, Maturity 4%. Qin Ming looked at his spirit field, which was growing quite prosperously, and thought that in 3 years, the yield of spirit nesting rice would increase significantly. He performed the Great 5 Elements technique to bring down spiritual rain on the spirit plants in the spirit field. Leveraging the spirit rain technique based on the Tier 3 spirit vein, the effect of the rain was naturally greatly enhanced. On Wanhua Island, spring flourished, a picture of harmony. But outside, chaos had long descended. Outside the cave mansion, under the life-bound spirit plant longevity vine, Qin Ming silently ran the ancient wood longevity technique, completed his daily practice, slowly exhaled a breath, and opened his eyes. A fresh fragrance of plants and trees emanated from him, accompanied by a force of ancient power of time. As Qin Ming finished his cultivation, the silver spirit plant phantom behind him disappeared, transforming into a silver rune that merged into his forehead. After the spirit vein environment of Wanhua Island improved, the growth speed of the longevity vine increased significantly. Qin Ming acquired more plant essence qi and power of time. The silver rune representing the ancient evergreen body is now 2/3 complete, not far from full formation. Furthermore, under the medicinal power of the Bloodbone Pill and Blood Evil Pill, the true Qi blood spirit within Qin Ming grew rapidly, likely soon reaching the requirements for the 3rd transformation of True Gang. Even though Qin Ming's mana cultivation and body refining cultivation can crush foundation establishment cultivators across realms, he still maintains a low profile, quietly cultivating on Wangyue Island. Alas, Zhou Ping from the Loose Alliance hasn't come to Wangyue Island to purchase pills in almost 2 years. Could it be something happened? Why is there no news or movement at all? I wonder how vast the Immortal City is doing. Guqin Zhao has yet to deliver the required spiritual materials for planting Tier 3 Spirit Plant, 3 Red Soul, Reviving Grass. Could something unexpected have happened too? In these 2 years, Wangyue Island faced a few batches of demon beasts, but none managed to enter the outermost Mist Illusion Realm, allowing Qin Ming to harvest numerous low-tier blood pearls, all fed to the longevity vine. Qin Ming left the cave mansion and casually reclined under the spiritual peach tree at its entrance, savoring the Jade Qilin wine. He found that the effect of Jade Qilin wine in increasing cultivation is not unlimited, with the most noticeable effect at the beginning. After drinking 7 or 8 jars, the growth of liquid Dharma power started to gradually decline. Nonetheless, it propelled his cultivation forward significantly, with the mana lake within expanding more than twice its size again. Now Qin Ming's longevity Dharma power is not only exquisitely pure, but also several times that of a same-tier cultivator, surpassing an ordinary foundation establishment perfection cultivator. Moreover, after bringing back the innate earth, it's been 2.5 years since he buried it deep within Wangyue Island. Perhaps the Wu family people haven't felt any change. But Qin Ming, possessing divine thought at the foundation establishment perfection level, noticed the territory area of the entire Wangyue Island unknowingly expanded over 100 feet outward, and it continues to gradually grow over time. Profound Water Crocodile, after devouring the Thunder Rocks Demon Pill and consuming the Tier 3 Spirit Transformation Demon Fruit, fell asleep for 2 years. This left Qin Ming somewhat troubled, as his method for nurturing demon beasts is simple and straightforward, directly using resources to feed them. Faced with this situation, he is entirely clueless. Isn't this forcing me to eat crocodile meat? Perhaps the profound water crocodile sensed its master's inner voice. In an instant, once again, dark clouds begin to gather over Wangyue Island. A massive spiritual energy vortex is constantly accumulating above the profound water crocodile's cave mansion. The abundance of spiritual chi provided by the Tier 3 middle-grade spiritual vein is incomparable to before. Roar! The profound water crocodile slowly awakened. This oaf, sleeping for so long, is finally going to break through. Qin Ming came outside the profound water crocodile's cave, releasing divine thought to observe its condition. The silver-winged frost heard the commotion, transformed into a silver light, appearing nearby. Seeing the profound water crocodile about to break through before it again, it seemed very unconvinced. This breakthrough of the profound water crocodile is more grandiose compared to before. Like a mountain's collapse and tsunami, the heaven and earth spiritual chi continuously pour into its body. After several hours, buzz, the aura of the profound water crocodile's demonic power suddenly surged, directly rising up a notch. An oppressive force of an unmatched great demon instantly descends upon Wangyue Island, comparable to the previous double-pupiled demon ape, startling some low-tier demon beasts on the island. Snakes, insects, ants froze in place, not daring to move. Below the Spirit Island, the Wu family spirit farmers were also trembling. Wu Jiang was completely pale, eyes fixed in disbelief on the celestial vault above the main peak. How long has it been? Fellow Taoist Qin's profound water giant crocodile is likely advancing to a Tier 2 late-stage great demon. The profound water crocodile completed its breakthrough. Its size grew to over 30 feet, resembling a primordial giant beast, overlooking the demon realm. It shrank its body to half a foot, like usual, shaking its head and running to Qin Ming's feet to rub against him, proudly roared a few times. Qin Ming communicated with the profound water crocodile, learning that after its breakthrough to the late stage, it had completely refined and absorbed the Thunder Rock's demon pill. Moreover, it gained another divine technique, Iwood God Thunder. Additionally, it mastered the Thunder Rock's life-bound demon technique, Thunder Escape Technique. Now it not only has thick skin and explosive power, but also possesses 3 lightning bloodline divine techniques, Gue Water Divine Thunder, Earth God Thunder, and Iwood God Thunder. Combined with its surprising speed, it's simply a perfect killing machine. However, as Immortal Dao values life, Qin Ming doesn't intend to let it out for a massacre. Unless he can't resist. Qin Ming patted the profound water crocodile's big head, teasingly said, "You oaf, staying by my side, you really enjoy great blessings. Not only has your bloodline talent improved to celestial grade, but your cultivation has even surpassed your master." The profound water crocodile nudged Qin Ming, mentally communicating that it was sworn in loyalty to him, ready to fight wherever directed. Qin Ming chuckled. He was quite reassured about this, as he could tell from the profound water crocodile's fearless behavior facing the overwhelming double-pupiled demon ape. Moreover, Qin Ming had used the beast-taming technique on it and signed a spirit contract, so there was no possibility of rebellion or master betrayal. Afterwards, time to consider, it's about time I visit Vast Sea Immortal City. Apart from gathering spiritual materials and seeking information, I should start engaging with the Pill Furnace Pavilion over there as well. While keeping most of my cards concealed, slightly revealing something to acquire more resource information. Now with the profound water crocodile rivaling the double-pupiled demon ape, coupled with the silver-winged frost bee, as long as I don't go against Golden Core ancestors or encounter Tier 3 demon kings, I can traverse the world freely. Qin Ming pondered for a moment, secretly making a decision. Then, using the pill formula provided by Su Yuqing, he refined some Tier 2 high-grade spirit pills, which are immensely beneficial for mana growth in the late-stage foundation establishment. With these spirit pills, a few rice flower spirit fish, and the last 4 jars of spirit fire wine, Qin Ming prepared to set off towards Vast Sea Immortal City. Before leaving, he gave Wu Jiang a reminder. Fellow Taoist Qin, you're leaving the island." "Yes. Firstly, I have some matters that I must deal with. Secondly, I want to see the external developments. Then I wish fellow Taoist Qin a safe journey." Given fellow Taoist Qin's cultivation, coupled with spirit pets, there shouldn't be any problem. "Right, your 5-colored spirit rice is planted well. It seems you put in a lot of effort," Qin Ming suddenly said with a smile. Wu Jiang scratched his scalp, smiling. It's all right. Thanks to fellow Taoist Qin's planting experience, otherwise I wouldn't have succeeded in the first planting. This batch has a rather low survival rate, but I guarantee I'll be more proficient next time, and when the spirit rice matures, I'll send the spirit field rent and tax altogether to fellow Taoist Qin. No rush, no rush. Your perseverance until now is commendable. Keep it up. Qin Ming patted Wu Jiang's shoulder. Qin Ming summoned the silver-winged frost bee, bringing along the profound water crocodile, then opened the array and left Wangyue Island. The moment he left the island, Qin Ming felt as if a lifetime had passed. The surrounding of Wangyue Lake was still as peaceful as ever. The demon beasts, unless occasionally passing through, showed little interest in this corner. He rode on the silver-winged frost bee, transformed into a silver streak of light, and vanished into the sky. Along the way, Qin Ming's gaze fell on the retreating landscape below. The scope of Wangyue Lake was still all right. But after traveling some distance, he saw that Spirit Nest Islands were now filled with demon beasts. When Qin Ming flew over Celestial River Market, below was already devastated, the once bustling market no longer existing, instead becoming a nest for unnamed demon beasts. Dense groups of demon beasts were nesting and breeding on the islands of Celestial River Market. It seemed sensing the human race cultivator flying overhead, deep within Celestial River Market, a terrifying Tier 2 great demon lifted its head and glanced towards Qin Ming. But upon seeing Qin Ming riding on the silver-winged frost bee, the killing intent it had just emanated instantly subsided, dispelling the thought of pursuit. The 72-Island Loose Alliance, which had once united the islands to establish a defense against demon beasts, had also been impacted beyond recognition. Alas, it seems the beast tide has invaded the core area of the Spirit Nest Islands. Qin Ming watched the Spirit Islands now occupied by demon beasts, guessing the situation. This beast tide erupted so fiercely, the damage to the Cultivation Realm is immeasurable. What is the reason behind it? The rapid reproduction of demon beasts is just one factor. Could it be that not just one Tier 3 Demon King was born in the Beast Roar Mountain range? Or even a Demon King has already reached Tier 3 mid-stage, dominating and ready to unify the Beast Roar Mountain range. At present, it seems only these possibilities can compress the living space for other beast groups, resulting in such a large-scale beast tide. The situation looks far graver than I imagined. Now across the Spirit Nest Islands, everywhere Qin Ming could see, on land or underwater, there were groups of demon beasts roaming. Just during Qin Ming's flight, less than 15 minutes had passed, he already encountered several clueless avian demon beasts, all turned into blood pearls in his storage pouch. Suddenly, Qin Ming's divine thought detected, directly 5 miles ahead, that a massive Dharma ship was racing fast towards vast sea Immortal City. The mast of the Dharma ship was hoisted with the flag of the 72-Island Loose Alliance. Qin Ming's eyes lit up, withdrawing the silver wings into the spirit beast bag, then unfolding his body technique, transforming into a blue escape light, swiftly heading towards the Alliance ship. Only a few breaths of time. Qin Ming arrived in front of the Dharma ship. The cultivators on duty on the deck saw a Foundation establishment stage escape, light approaching, feeling threatened. Don't act recklessly. It's Elder Qin from Wangwei Island. Just then, a Qi Cultivation Perfection Stage cultivator captain raised his hand to signal, stopping everyone's tense actions. Qin Ming's figure flickered and appeared in front of the cultivator, asked in confusion, "You recognize me?" The Qi Cultivation Perfection cultivator respectfully saluted Qin Ming, then excitedly replied, "Reporting to Elder Qin, over 2 years ago I also happened to visit Wanwell Lake under Elder Zhou Ping's leadership. If it weren't for back then, Elder Qin's beast pet showed great power, crushing the Thunder Rock Great Demon, we wouldn't be able to stand here talking today." "Oh, I see," Qin Ming suddenly realized, then asked, "By the way, where is Elder Zhou Ping? Is he on board now?" The captain responded with a melancholy expression, hesitating to speak. Seeing his reaction, Qin Ming already guessed roughly. Alas, Elder Zhou Ping has perished. Just then, a familiar voice reached Qin Ming's ears, followed by a blue escape light flying out from the cabin on the ship, landing in front of him, revealing the person's face. "Fellow Taoist Qin, it's been a long time. It's truly rare to see you. Is everything all right lately?" Facing Qin Ming, the Vice Alliance leader Lim Yuanqing of the 72-Island Loose Alliance greeted him warmly with cupped hands. "Vice Alliance leader Lim, long time no see. How did fellow Taoist Zhou perish? Could it be?" Qin Ming returned the salute, couldn't help but ask. Moreover, watching Lim Yuanqing's cultivation, he had broken through to late-stage Foundation establishment, but the mana aura on him was extremely unstable. His once vigorous spirit now bore traces of fatigue, and his temples began to show gray. Qin Ming could tell at a glance. Lim Yuanqing must have consumed some tear-breaking pill, trading away essence and longevity to forcibly elevate his cultivation realm. Yet this way, it would produce irreversible obstacles in reaching subsequent realms. "Fellow Taoist Qin, with your current prestige, you may simply call me fellow Taoist. Do not embarrass me. Please step inside the room." Lim will explain each reason to fellow Taoist Qin. Alas, not only has Elder Zhou Ping perished, even Alliance leader Hou Qianxiu has fallen. In a private room of the Loose Alliance Dharma ship, Qin Ming, upon learning that even the true Alliance leader Hou Qianxiu had fallen, couldn't help but ask, "Ah? Alliance leader Hou has also fallen. Could it be that a Tier 3 Demon King has appeared?" Lim Yuanqing ordered someone to bring spirit tea, personally pouring it for Qin Ming, then sighed, shook his head, and asked Qin Ming in return, "Fellow Taoist Qin, do you remember? During the upheaval at Qinya Island, who was the main culprit? Naturally, it was the remnants of the Zhao family, like Zhao Wuyang, Zhao Wuji, and others." Qin Ming answered almost instinctively. As he said this, he suddenly realized, could it be that the demonized Zhao Wuyang has returned? Lim Yuanqing nodded, "That's right. And this Zhao Wuyang is no longer that Zhao Wuyang. It's not just demonization. He has been parasitized by a demonized Tier 3 variant, and his strength is terrifyingly immense. No one in the entire Spirit Nest Island's cultivation realm can resist it. If it weren't for the reappearance of this demon plant, our loose alliance wouldn't have retreated so quickly, even in the face of a larger beast tide." Elder Zhou Ping, an alliance leader who also encountered this demon during a defensive battle, which led to their demise and them falling into its grasp. When Qin Ming heard this, his heart shuddered. He had seen Zhao Wuyang possessed with mysterious and unpredictable divine techniques, even capable of easily slaying a fake pill ancestor, something ordinary cultivators couldn't possibly withstand. This also matched his previous speculations, that it was indeed parasitized by a demonized demon plant. Alas, Elder Zhou Ping, an alliance leader who fought bravely against the demon beasts, only to die in vain at the hands of this demon. It's truly tragic. Qin Ming genuinely sighed. Through a year-long pill trading relationship with Zhou Ping, he had come to respect this person's spirit greatly after prolonged contact. Although Zhou Ping was not driven by some grand cause of life and death for the cultivation realm, he was willing to take enormous risks on account of his responsibilities, delivering supplies to the brink of death in the Spirit Nest Islands, rather than fleeing like other cultivators did immediately. It was truly admirable. He then asked, "Then, fellow Taoist Lim, do you know the origin of this demon plant?" Upon hearing this, Lim Yuanqing's steady face revealed a hint of hatred. "As I speak of this, it's all the Zhao family's fault. This demonized variant, known as the blood-cursed demon vine, was originally a middle-grade Tier 3 spirit plant. It had high potential and developed intelligence on its own. After being soaked in demon blood from the demon cave on Qinya Island, it gradually evolved into a monster and could advance continuously by specifically devouring cultivators' essence blood. The speed of its growth is terrifying to hear. According to reports from our investigations, in its current state, it has reached a level equivalent to the peak strength of an early-stage golden core." Upon hearing this, Qin Ming pouted unconsciously, thinking to himself, "How does this seem somewhat similar to my life-bound spirit plant, Longevity Vine?" Originally, this demon plant did not possess the ability to move, but after demonization, it could parasitize on cultivators or demon beasts, acting freely through its host. The stronger the host being parasitized, the stronger the demon plant's capabilities. Initially, the blood-cursed demon vine parasitized inside fake pill ancestor Zhao Wuyang, but after the beast tide erupted, the demon plant found and secretly parasitized a Tier 3 early-stage Howling Moon Demon King from somewhere. Now, the entire Qinya Island has been recaptured by this beast, and it has gathered tens of thousands of demon beasts under its command, occupying the Spirit Island to slay cultivators and gather blood food for it. The Zhao family clearly knew a demon cave remnant existed within Qinya Island with a demon vine, but blinded by greed, not only did they fail to report it, they even attempted to control the demon. Brewing such a disaster for the cultivation realm truly warrants death. After hearing what Lim Yuanqing said, Qin Ming furrowed his eyebrows tightly, having not expected the blood-cursed demon vine to have such a history. He had learned from the Tier 3 spirit plant master heritage that some special spirit plants could mature into spiritual treasures or awaken intelligence, but such spirit plants were rare. Suddenly, while recalling the heritage from the spirit plant master, Qin Ming suddenly remembered something. With a serious expression, he said, "This is not good. This demon plant's continued presence on the Qin Spirit Island suggests there may be another purpose. Lim Yuanqing was stunned upon hearing this. The information he had just shared was gathered after countless cultivators sacrificed their lives with great difficulty. Yet, fellow Taoist Qin, just listening to his narration, could discern the intentions of the demon. But then he reconsidered, knowing that the counterpart was a renowned spirit plant master in the Spirit Nest Island's Cultivation Realm, unlikely to speak irresponsibly. So he quickly asked, fellow Taoist Qin, do you understand this demon vine? What is its purpose? How this demon acts? Qin doesn't know much about that. But what I do know is that spirit plants above Tier 3 middle grade, once they develop intelligence, will seek an opportunity to produce the first batch of spirit seeds in no time. If my guess is correct, this blood-cursed demon vine, it is likely preparing to nurture a demon seed, and once there's enough blood food, a new demon vine will be born. The time it takes for a demon seed to form varies, depending on the potential and quality of the spirit plant, but generally it's within 15 years. However, the good news is that before the demon seed is born, unless there's a special reason, this blood-cursed demon vine won't leave the Qin Spirit Island easily. As soon as Qin Ming finished speaking, there was a clatter sound. The teacup in Lim Yuanqing's hand involuntarily fell to the ground. One demon vine was already unmanageable. If more were to come, wouldn't the Spirit Nest Islands be doomed? Fellow Taoist Qin, is what you say true? Asked Lim Yuanqing anxiously. Qin Ming nodded firmly. It's very likely so. By the way, fellow Taoist Lim, with such demonic entities like the Tier 3 demon plants appearing, why is there no attention from the Golden Core ancestors of the Wei Country Cultivation Realm? And the vast sea Immortal City, aren't they sending aid? Qin Ming also felt extremely puzzled. Since the presence of demon vines was discovered, why not eliminate them early? A single Golden Core might not prevail, but a group attack could surely succeed, right? Lim Yuanqing let out a helpless smile. Fellow Taoist Qin, you might not be aware, this beast invasion is exceptionally serious. All families are overwhelmed and can't spare any effort to tend to this side. I reported this matter immediately to the Thunder Origin Sect and Vast Sea Immortal City. But for some reason, there's been no response yet. Alas, that's why I'm planning to visit Vast Sea Immortal City, personally meet Master Vast Sea, and explain the severity of the situation. Qin Ming, upon hearing this, nodded thoughtfully. I also happen to have business in Vast Sea Immortal City. Then it's convenient, fellow Taoist Qin. Let's go together. Lim Yuanqing invited, his expression easing slightly. Fine. By the way, congratulations to fellow Taoist Lim on officially becoming the true alliance leader of the Loose Alliance. Qin Ming smiled and congratulated him courteously. Lim Yuanqing heard this and showed a helpless expression, smiled bitterly. Fellow Taoist Qin, don't joke with me. If not for Alliance leader Ho's demise, leaving no one to fill this position, I'd have reluctantly taken it. Fellow Taoist Qin, as a great alchemist, might have noticed my cultivation was forcibly elevated using tear-breaking pill amidst a battle with demon beasts. It damaged my foundation, and my path ends here. Upon hearing from Qin Ming about the imminent fission of demon seeds from the Tier 3 demon vine, Lim Yuanqing became restless. Qin Ming's words seemed to add to the woes of the listener. The atmosphere in the chamber turned somber. For a moment, Qin Ming didn't know how to comfort the other party. Even facing the Tier 3 demon vine, all he could do was run away, unable to change anything. The Dharma ship flew through the air for some time without encountering any troublesome demon beasts. After more than 2 hours, they arrived above Vast Sea Immortal City. Yet the scene that followed caught everyone on the Dharma ship by surprise. Outside Vast Sea Immortal City, thousands of beast tides fearlessly charged at the Tier 3 high-grade Grand Array surrounding the city. The Grand Array emitted a misty blue barrier, occasionally unleashing powerful magic that landed among the beast hordes below. Boom! Boom! Countless low-tier demon beasts instantly turned into a rain of blood. Kill them. Slaughter these bastards. Outside vast immortal city, magic rained down like a storm. Beast roars and cultivators' battle cries echoed deafeningly, and the air was filled with the stench of blood. A massive number of demon beasts surged like tidal waves, wave after wave, seemingly endless. Moo! Bam! 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 At this moment, the earth shook, accompanied by thunderous sounds as three gigantic demon beasts emerged from the rear of the beast horde, towering over 10 feet in height. It was three mountain giant elephants emitting thick earth demonic power. The giant elephant great demons whipped up a fierce gale and charged toward the cultivators, their thick limbs stomping and their trunks sweeping, indiscriminately rampaging forward. Suddenly, flesh flew. The scene was like a purgatory. A cultivator let out a scream, his entire body pierced by tusks, his organs spilling out, instantly lifeless. Several cultivators showed signs of terror, only to be swept by the enormous trunks mid-air, being torn in half, blood raining down. Numerous cultivators also met their tragic end under the mountain giant elephant's feet, crushed to death. Soon after, countless demon beasts lunged in, like starving wolves, frenziedly devouring the cultivators' corpses. For the demon beasts, cultivators' flesh and blood, infused with spiritual qi, were a highly nourishing food. Qin Ming looked out at the scene beyond the city, his face full of shock. If not for this rare trip, he wouldn't know things had gotten so chaotic outside. Alas, did I come out too early? I feel I should return to the island and hide for a while. Lim Yuanqing, too, stood dazed in place, speechless. He originally came to the vast immortal city to gather reinforcements. But now seeing this scene, it's fortunate enough if the city doesn't seek his help. Just then, among the cultivators on the city wall, a familiar figure appeared in Qin Ming's sight. Lavu Yang was wielding a golden feather duster spiritual artifact, entangled in battle with two early-stage Tier 2 leopard scale great demons. He cast the spell, flicked his magical arts, and the golden feather duster unleashed dozens of powerful golden ribbons, slashing all nearby demon beasts. He struck the abdomen of one leopard scale beast, sending it flying dozens of feet away, boom, as it hit the ground heavily, kicking up a cloud of dust. He was about to catch his breath when two more powerful Tier 2 great demons approached him. Lavu Yang was left in distress. Huh! From nearby Lavu Yang, a sharp voice exclaimed, and a graceful figure wielding a golden needle spiritual artifact made swift, agile moves, the golden needle transforming into countless golden rays, piercing toward a red flame demon falcon. It was surprisingly a Tier 2 early-stage great demon. Qin Ming fixed his gaze and saw that this woman was Lavu Yang's beloved disciple, Wanjun, and judging by her aura, she had already broken through to the foundation establishment stage. So it's her? It seems she succeeded in advancing after taking the high-quality foundation establishment pill I refined for her. Coo! Boom! The red flame demon falcon let out a long screech, unleashing wave after wave of sonic attacks around. The arc-shaped sonic waves, like invisible blades, stirred up ripples in the air, and in their path, blood spurted wildly. Some nearby buildings were instantly sliced into countless fragments. The attacks from the Golden Needle spiritual artifact were completely shattered and vanished by the sonic waves emitted by the red flame demon falcon. Boom! Then, the demon falcon burst into blazing red flames, spreading its fiery wings and launching a massive fireball, as thick as a barrel, towards Lavu Wanjun, a frightful force. Lavu Wanjun, having just cast that spell, felt her mana deplete rapidly, and the Golden Needle spiritual artifact wobbled back in her hand from midair. Her dark eyebrows knitted tightly as she faced the oncoming fireball spell like a great enemy, hastily pulling out a Tier 2 low-grade defense spirit shield to protect herself. Bam! In the sky, the flames exploded. Lavu Wanju in silhouette was blown back dozens of feet before she could staggeringly stabilize. Her face turned pale, A trace of blood trickled from the corner of her mouth, and there were several burns on her body. Fortunately, she was wearing a magical robe underneath, which blocked most of the spell's power. Junior, quickly retreat into the city. This wave of demon beasts is somewhat unusual. Yang, seeing his beloved disciple injured, continued to battle with the demon beasts while urgently sending a voice transmission to Wanjun. Wanjun wasn't one to act delicate. Now nearly exhausted, upon hearing her master's words, she was about to retreat. But at that moment, she saw the red-flamed demon falcon in the sky swooping down fiercely, stirring up a blaze and extending its iron-like claws to grasp her. The situation was dire. Yang was entangled by several great demons, unable to extricate himself, and he was sweating profusely in anxiety. Just then, in her panic, Wanjun inadvertently glimpsed a familiar figure standing on a Dharma ship in the not-too-distant sky. She immediately beamed with joy and exclaimed, "Elder Qin, save me." The words had barely left her lips. A cyan escape light arrived instantly, and it was none other than Qin Ming. Qin Ming couldn't help but smile wryly. Originally, upon seeing the situation, he had planned to observe the situation and escape at the right opportunity. But he never expected this girl to recognize him at a glance. So it's fellow Taoist Qin, an early-stage Foundation establishment spirit plant master, alas. No use in coming. Yang, seeing someone coming to the rescue, initially showed a relieved expression, but upon realizing it was fellow Taoist Qin, he couldn't help but sigh. As a renowned Tier 2 high-grade spirit plant master in the vast sea Immortal City, fellow Taoist Qin held a position of high esteem. However, when it came to practical combat, spirit plant masters were quite lacking, especially against a powerful Tier 2 great demon. Clang! Qin Ming fixed a sharp gaze on the diving red flame demon falcon. He pointed to the sky, forming a cyan nether sword technique seal with his hands. Swoosh! A flash of cyan light streaked across, transforming into a cyan nether sword chi over 10 feet long. With just one slash, the blazing demon falcon was cleaved in two from the middle, unleashing a rain of blood from the sky. This! Yang was dumbfounded by this scene, and he quickly called out to Qin Ming, "Fellow Taoist Qin, quickly assist me." Moving as fast as the wind, Qin Ming flickered and vanished from the spot. The cyan nether sword chi swept across, slicing through the demon beasts opposite, instantly causing limbs and fragments to scatter in all directions. Lim Yuanqing, upon witnessing this from the loose Alliance Dharma ship, no longer remained idle. He took out a spiritual artifact, Dharma Saber, and transformed into a blue streak of light, joining the battlefield. A wave of late-stage Foundation establishment spiritual pressure descended outside the Immortal City like a storm. With Lim Yuanqing, a great cultivator of late-stage Foundation establishment, joining, the crisis of the beast tide outside the vast sea Immortal City was immediately resolved. The Loose Alliance's Dharma ship also activated the spiritual energy giant cannon, bombarding the demon beast horde below relentlessly. An hour later, with the combined efforts of several people, all the leading Tier 2 great demons were slaughtered. The low-tier demon beasts outside the city, leaderless, scattered like birds and beasts. Qin Ming, unperturbed, stored the corpses of the few early-stage Tier 2 demon beasts he personally slew into his storage pouch. Yang, watching from the side, twitched but dared not comment. If it weren't for fellow Taoist Qin coming to the rescue, he feared he wouldn't have survived today. Yang, his face pale, took a pill and, after sweeping his gaze around, focused on his beloved disciple. Seeing that she was unharmed, he breathed a long sigh of relief. Many thanks to fellow Taoist Qin and Alliance leader Lim for your timely rescue. We'll never forget such a great favor, Yang said, bowing deeply to the two. Qin Ming quickly stopped him. Fellow Taoist, there's no need for such formality. Slaying demons is our cultivator's duty, one that we cannot shy away from. Seeing fellow Taoist Lavu in danger, it was only right to draw my sword and assist. While saying this, Qin Ming spoke righteously and powerfully. Even he nearly believed himself. Fellow Taoist Qin is indeed high-minded, not only an alchemy master in spirit plant alchemy Dao, but also possessing unrivaled sword Dao cultivation skills. I truly admire him beyond words. It was thanks to fellow Taoist Lavu for depleting these demon beasts' demonic power that I could easily slay them. It's just a petty skill. All right, let the cultivators below clean up the battlefield now. Fellow Taoist Qin, this is not the place to talk. Please move in my humble abode. Lavu Yang gestured for an invitation, then ordered the opening of the array. Vast Immortal City's core area. After entering the city, Lim Yuanqing hurried to find Master Vast Sea, while Lavu Yang needed to report back, so they parted ways with Qin Ming and headed towards Vast Sea Peak. Qin Ming, on the other hand, was led by Lavu Wanjun to Lavu Yang's private garden. After serving Qin Ming's spirit tea, she approached him and bowed gracefully. Wanjun thanks Elder Qin for his rescue. No need for formalities. Since you've successfully established your foundation, just call me fellow Taoist Qin. Qin Ming said, sipping the tea lightly. However, Lavu Wanjun seemed yet to recover from the previous battle, missing her usual lively spirit and appearing drained and mentally exhausted. Fellow Taoist Lavu, perhaps you should restore your mana first. I'm fine staying here, Qin Ming said straightforwardly. Lavu Wanjun didn't insist. Having just recently completed foundation establishment, she feared regressing from the severe battle. So, after ordering some fruits and snacks, she greeted Qin Ming before going to her room for recovery and regulation. Qin Ming sat in the hall drinking spirit tea, tapping his fingers rhythmically on the table, lost in thought. Half an hour later, Lavu Yang seemed to have completed his reporting, hastily entering from outside. Fellow Taoist Qin, you wouldn't believe it, today happened to be my duty day to guard the Immortal City walls. It was truly treacherous. Had it not been for you, fellow Taoist Qin, both my disciple and I would likely be inside a demon beast's belly by now. Lavu Yang poured a new pot of spirit tea for Qin Ming, filling his cup, speaking with lingering fear. Qin Ming's brow furrowed at his words, questioning his concerns. Fellow Taoist, has the beast tide situation escalated to such a severe extent now? Even a mid-stage foundation establishment cultivator like Lavu Yang nearly lost his life. The dangers could only be imagined. Indeed, initially we thought the depths of the beast Roar Mountain range gave rise to only one Tier 3 Demon King, forcing other beast groups to migrate outward. But the actual situation now is that the beast Roar Mountain range has, at once, birthed several extremely powerful Tier 3 Demon Kings. Coupled with the overbreeding of demon beasts deep in the beast Roar Mountain range, this beast disaster could be said to be unprecedented in the history of the establishment of Vast Sea Immortal City, said Lavu Yang gravely. To be honest, fellow Taoist Qin, in just these past few years, the Immortal City has faced several hundred waves of beast tide attacks. Moreover, there were 3 times where 3 different Tier 3 Demon Kings personally led the charge, even breaking through a weaker array section at the western corner of the city under their assault. Fortunately, the city lord intervened to repel that Tier 3 Demon King, or else fellow Taoist Qin. This might have been an entirely different situation. Just repairing the Tier 3 Grand Array required countless resources and man-hours, taking half a year to fully restore it. Hearing this, Qin Ming remained silent for a long time. He hadn't expected the situation in Vast Sea Immortal City to be so dire, repeatedly facing assaults from Tier 3 great demons. He finally understood why the Immortal City couldn't spare any forces to deal with the Tier 3 blood-cursed demon vine. Once Nalan Shi, a Golden Core ancestor, is no longer overseeing, Vast Sea Immortal City could be overrun by a beast tide at any moment. By the way, a few years ago, the Feng clan, who brought your letter here, they are your... Lavu Yang suddenly asked. Qin Ming replied, I must again thank fellow Taoist Lvu for arranging everything for them. They are descendants of an old acquaintance of mine. If fellow Taoist Lvu is available, help support them a bit, but no need to go overboard. Fellow Taoist Qin, what are you saying? Such a trivial matter is nothing to mention. I'm merely asking if they require additional attention. Since that's the case, I'll follow fellow Taoist Qin's suggestion. Lvu Liang said with a smile. Qin Ming inquired about the current situation of the Immortal City from Lvu Liang, and then took his leave. Exiting the core area, Qin Ming followed the main road and arrived at the Mirror Snow Pavilion in the inner city. The first-floor restaurant was somewhat desolate, with only a few cultivators dining, a stark contrast to the bustling scenes of the past. The outbreak of the beast tide caused the prices of various resources to continuously rise, leading to a decline in the number of cultivators able to afford the Mirror Snow Pavilion, such a high-end establishment. Shopkeeper Liao was keeping accounts at the front desk with his head down. Noticing someone entering the shop, he immediately put on a professional smile and said, "Welcome, noble Taoist friend. Please take a look at what you would like to eat." He was halfway through his sentence when he saw it was Qin Ming and was instantly at a loss for words. He went from astonishment to confusion, and then from confusion to delight. "Fellow Taoist Qin, what brings you here? Please do come in. I'll go and inform the pavilion master. You have no idea how much she's been worrying over your matters, fellow Taoist Qin." Shopkeeper Liao's exclamation drew the attention of the cultivators dining there, curious about the person who could concern the pavilion master of Mirror Snow Pavilion. Seeing him, they recognized fellow Taoist Qin and rose to greet Qin Ming. "Oh, Master Qin is here. Greetings, Elder Qin." "Hello, fellow Taoist Qin." Qin Ming's reputation among those loose cultivators was quite good, and their words towards him were full of admiration and respect. He acknowledged with a slight nod and smile, following shopkeeper Liao upstairs. In the private room on the 7th floor, Guqing Zhao, Huang Fuqi, and Aunt Long came forward to greet him. "Fellow Taoist Qin, what a surprise. I didn't expect you to come a vast immortal city under such circumstances. Ha ha." Huang Fuqi still maintained his refined demeanor, saying with a cheerful smile. Aunt Long also smiled and said, "It's been a long time, fellow Taoist Qin. When we evacuated Celestial River Market, the situation was extremely urgent, and we didn't have time to notify you, alas." Qin Ming observed her mana aura and noted she had broken through to the mid-stage foundation establishment, seemingly due to the spirit fire wine he had given her. "Fellow Taoist Qin, how did you get here? The beast tide outside is fraught with danger. Was your journey smooth?" Guqing Zhao, clad in plain clothes with joyous surprise in her beautiful eyes, asked Qin Ming. "It went fairly smoothly. I came with the Loose Alliance's Dharma ship, alongside Alliance Leader Lim." Qin Ming responded to everyone's enthusiasm one by one. The group then took their seats in the private room. They began to engage in conversation. Guqing Zhao stood up first, handing Qin Ming a package. Her voice clear, she said, "These are the rare spiritual materials you entrusted me with collecting back then. A year ago, I managed to gather all the materials, but the Immortal City went in a lockdown to guard against beast tide attacks. And now, even we can't leave vast sea Immortal City. I was fretting over how to get these to you, and unexpectedly, here you are, fellow Taoist Qin." Qin Ming accepted the package, containing the few spiritual materials needed for cultivating the 3-red soul, reviving grass of the Tier 3 spirit plant. He stored the items in his storage pouch, expressing gratitude. "Haha, thank you for the trouble, fellow Taoist Ge. This is a little token of my appreciation." Qin Ming then took out 2 rice flower spirit fish and a jar of spirit fire wine from his storage pouch, presenting them to Guqing Zhao. Guqing Zhao accepted the items with a smile. "By the way, I took advantage of the beast tide to gather a lot of demon beast materials and refine several batches of pills. I would like to entrust them to you, fellow Taoist Ge, to sell." With that, Qin Ming waved his hand over the table, and a dozen fine porcelain bottles appeared instantly. The 3 across from him were stunned by this display, because as they glanced over most of the spirit pills, there were Tier 2 spiritual pills. Gu Qingzhao's gaze lingered on the porcelain bottles for a moment, her hand delicately picking up one and opening its seal, releasing a unique fragrance distinct from other Tier 2 pills. What a thing! Foundation Establishment Pill. And there are two. Huang Fuqi leaned in for a look and was equally astonished. Two Foundation Establishment pills at once. Gu Qingzhao was also somewhat taken aback, raising her eyes with some puzzled surprise to look at Qin Ming. I crafted these two using a demon pill. You should know about Steward Liang from the Immortal City, right? Several years ago, his treasured disciple needed Foundation Establishment pills for a breakthrough, and he happened to acquire a Wind Attribute Demon pill at the Tier 2 mid-stage and commissioned me to refine it. At the time, for pills were made, and Liang took two of them, leaving me with these two. They're not of much use to me. Might as well exchange them for spirit stones. Gu Qingzhao had a look of realization, smiling as she said, "Oh, so that's what happened." This matter did indeed circulate in a small circle within the Immortal City at the time. I didn't realize it was fellow Taoist Qin who had done the alchemy. Qin Ming nodded. After all, these two Foundation Establishment pills were left over from the commission by Liang, able to withstand scrutiny. Even the major forces and sects couldn't find any fault. By the way, if it's possible, fellow Taoist Go, could you help me exchange these preferably into high-grade spirit stones? Gu Qingzhao heard that Qin Ming needed high-grade spirit stones. He couldn't help but be taken aback, and then explained, "Fellow Taoist Qin, these high-grade spirit stones are extremely precious and not widely circulated on the market. However, I'll try to keep an eye out for you." Qin Ming had actually anticipated this. After all, high-grade spirit stones are exceedingly rare, and it's understandable that they're hard to obtain. The spiritual energy content and purity in high-grade spirit stones are extremely high, making them suitable not only for high-tier cultivators, but also often used to break through bottlenecks or forge high-grade cultivation resources. And if Qin Ming wanted to continue upgrading the spiritual vein grade on Wangyue Island, he would need to use high-grade spirit stones. However, for now, a Tier 3 middle-grade spiritual vein was sufficient for his cultivation, so he wasn't in any urgent need. He was just collecting some in advance to be prepared. By the way, fellow Taoist Qin, you're aware of the demon plant situation on Qingyue Island, right? Gu Qingzhao put away the pills on the table and then, with a solemn expression, asked. Qin Ming nodded upon hearing the question. On the way here, Alliance leader Lim already hinted at it to me. The situation here in vast sea Immortal City is indeed tense, and I understand that Master Nailin can't step away. But as the de facto ruler of the cultivation realm of Wei Country, won't Thunder Origin's Sect do anything about it? And the golden core ancestor of the Spirit Feather Sect? Upon hearing this, Gu Qingzhao raised his hand and laid down a soundproof restriction before speaking. Fellow Taoist Qin, there's some secret intelligence. Rumor has it that Elder Aoo of Thunder Origin's Sect, his lifespan is nearing its end. According to the returned information, Elder Aoo has lived for over 530 years and has already consumed longevity-extending pills several times. Any further lifespan-extending pills won't prolong his life anymore. It's feared that he's just a few years away from passing away. So, it's not that Elder Aoo is unwilling to act. If he took action, even with a victory, he would likely exhaust all his remaining lifespan and vitality. There's also another matter. Wei Wuya of Thunder Origin Sect has secretly gone into seclusion. It's said that he's secretly attempting a breakthrough to the Golden Core stage. With Wei Wuya's celestial grade spirit root aptitude, it's very possible for Thunder Origin Sect to produce another Golden Core ancestor, continuing Elder Aoo's legacy. Upon learning this information, Qin Ming couldn't help but gain clarity. If Thunder Origin Sect loses its Golden Core combat power, then there's no doubt it will only face decline and decay as a sect. Moreover, the Spirit Feather Sect is watching like a tiger eyeing its prey. The Yuan ancestor of Spirit Feather Sect is a newly ascended Golden Core, not very old, probably with several hundred years of lifespan left. If Elder Aoo's lifespan runs out and Wei Wuya fails to form a golden core, or only forms a fake pill. Without any need for Spirit Feather Sect to take action, Thunder Origin Sect will soon become a dust in the history of the Wei country's cultivation realm. Everything will turn into fleeting clouds. Alas, it seems that in the cultivation realm, it's truly about who can live the longest. Why do I feel like my 550-year lifespan doesn't quite seem long enough? Qin Ming nodded slightly and said to Gu Qing Zhao, "It seems that Thunder Origin Sect's current situation isn't very good either." According to the intelligence acquired by Alliance Leader Lim, the Tier 3 blood-cursed demon vine, after years of blood nourishment, has reached the pinnacle of early-stage golden core cultivation strength. I'm afraid it will take several golden core ancestors working together to defeat it, and even then, it may not be possible to eradicate it completely. Alliance Leader Lim has already gone to meet with Master Vast Sea. Let's hope for some good news. After hearing Qin Ming's words, everyone present looked grim, because even the Mirror Snow Pavilion hadn't obtained this intelligence. It concerns the safety of the entire Wei country cultivation realm. Qin Ming exchanged information with the others for half a day, then took his leave. By nightfall, the outer city of Vast Sea Immortal City was a scene of devastation. Although the Beast-Tide army had temporarily retreated, occasional demon-beast harassment still occurred outside the city walls. There were also numerous malicious individuals trying to profit from the Beast-Tide by looting during the chaos, with tribulation cultivators emerging one after another. This made the cultivators on guard duty in the city painful and exhausting. The cultivators who sacrificed their lives in battling the demon beasts were also carried out. Not only were the cultivators defending Vast Sea Immortal City impacted, but even the loose cultivators suffered heavy casualties, with corpses continuously cleared and laid out along the streets of the outer city. Intermittent sounds of sobbing filled the air, emanating an atmosphere of sorrow. Qin Ming gazed at the desolate scene outside the city and sighed. Such a natural disaster had turned centuries of cultivation into a fleeting bubble. Without looking any further, he followed the main road and headed directly towards the core area, with a clear target in mind, heading straight to Pill Furnace Pavilion. The purpose of this trip was to gather some intelligence along the way, as the golden core formation pill formula he needed was within the influence of Profound Creek Valley behind Pill Furnace Pavilion. In no time at all, Qin Ming, familiar with the way, reached an elegantly decorated pavilion. As soon as he stepped into the hall of Pill Furnace Pavilion, the petite female shopkeeper from last time warmly welcomed him. She could hardly believe that a cultivator like Master Qin would visit their Pill Furnace Pavilion during the outbreak of a Beast-Tide. "Master Qin, long time no see. Since we last parted, I thought you wouldn't be coming again." The female shopkeeper's name was Su Jing. According to Lu Liang, this Pill Furnace Pavilion in Vast Sea Immortal City, operated by Profound Creek Valley, had always been run by her, and she had a long-standing experience. Being appointed to manage such an important industry by the Sect likely indicated that her background within Profound Creek Valley was not insignificant, as opening a shop in the core area of Vast Sea Immortal City was extremely lucrative. Becoming the head of a shop required at least some backing from an intersect elder. When Qin Ming arrived, he was already thinking about how to obtain intelligence from Profound Creek Valley. Qin Ming had considered using his identity as a dual-skill Tier 2 high-grade master to infiltrate Profound Creek Valley. But firstly, his Wanghua Island needed his supervision, and secondly, even if he obtained the Golden Core Formation Pill formula, the target would be too obvious and would definitely be marked by Profound Creek Valley. So, it seems, he can only proceed gradually and cannot act too hastily. "Huh, haven't I come? Does shopkeeper Su not welcome me?" Qin Ming said with a smile. Su Jing knew he was joking, so she smiled and said, "How could that be? Master Qin coming here naturally makes our pavilion shine brightly. Please, have a seat in the private room. I will prepare a pot of spirit tea for Master Qin." Qin Ming followed Su Jing to a luxurious private room on the 4th floor. Su Jing, graceful and reserved, gently prepared spirit tea for Qin Ming, then said with a bright smile, I've heard that the spirit-gathering tea master Qin cultivates is a masterpiece in the Spirit Nest Islands Cultivation Realm. I wonder if our pavilion spirit tea will suit fellow Taoist Qin's taste. Qin Ming smiled lightly, picked up the teacup, took a sip, and his eyes lit up with surprise. Shopkeeper Su really knows how to joke. This spirit tea has already reached the Tier 2 middle grade level, even slightly surpassing my spirit-gathering tea. It must not have been grown by an ordinary cultivator, right? Also, Shopkeeper Su can just call me fellow Taoist Qin. No need to be too formal. All right, fellow Taoist Qin. Su Jing nodded gently, then continued. Fellow Taoist Qin is indeed a top spirit plant master of Wei country, recognizing the grade and origin of my spirit tea with just a sip. You're right. This tea is called cold crystal tea, and its growth conditions are stringent. It was cultivated by an elder in my family. There's only one plant, and it's scarce. I had to plead with them for a long time to get a few pounds, and today I brewed a pot especially for your visit, fellow Taoist Qin. As Qin Ming savored the tea, his eyes lit up upon hearing the words family elder. I'm quite honored to be able to taste this tea. I wonder who is this esteemed elder of Shopkeeper Su? Are they also a spirit plant master? Qin Ming asked without showing his curiosity. Su Jing was taken aback, but still frankly replied, Yes, fellow Taoist Qin. I believe fellow Taoist Liang should have mentioned that our Pill Furnace Pavilion is part of Liang Country's Cultivation Realm and Profound Creek Valley's industry. That elder of mine is my grandfather, He currently holds the position of elder in the Spirit Medicine Garden of Profound Creek Valley's inner sect, and like fellow Taoist Qin, he is also a spirit plant master. It's just that his skill level is a bit lower than fellow Taoist Qin's, as he is a Tier 2 middle-grade spirit plant master. Qin Ming has a good reputation in vast sea Immortal City, so Su Jing did not hide her background much, thinking this could perhaps strengthen their relationship. Ever since Qin Ming arrived, she had been contemplating how to attract this great figure from Mirror Snow Pavilion to their side. Oh, is that so? I would welcome the chance to exchange insights on the path of spiritual plants with your grandfather, if possible, Qin Ming said slowly. Su Jing was delighted by Qin Ming's attitude, so she said, Are you serious, fellow Taoist Qin? My grandfather has long admired your reputation. If he could exchange insights with a spirit plant master like you, he would be absolutely delighted. I'll be sure to pass on the message. Qin Ming stopped at this point and did not delve any further into this topic, as making it too obvious would not be wise. My purpose for coming is to sell a batch of pills to your pavilion and also to purchase some pill formulas. Su Jing's eyes lit up at these words. That's wonderful. Let's not mince words. When it comes to high-tier pill formulas, our pavilion probably is the best stocked in all of Vast Sea Immortal City. Qin Ming then took out 2 exquisite jade bottles and placed them on the table. Su Jing picked up a jade bottle and opened it to find 5 red spirit pills lying quietly inside, emanating an astonishing aura. She was stunned. Tier 2 middle-grade spirit pills, blood evil pill, and bloodbone pill. Fellow Taoist Qin, you crafted them so quickly? It should be noted that Tier 2 middle-grade spirit pills are not easy to craft. She originally thought it would take at least 3 to 5 years before Qin Ming could produce them. Even within Profound Creek Valley, their Tier 2 high-grade Grand Alchemists had a high failure rate when crafting these pills, despite 10 years of dedicated research. Just lucky, Qin Ming said modestly. Su Jing's eyes gleamed, and after pondering a moment, she said, Fellow Taoist Qin, these blood evil pill and bloodbone pill are treasures for body-refining cultivators. They are quite valuable, and I can decide to purchase them at 50,000 spirit stones per bottle, which is 20% higher than the market price. What do you think, fellow Taoist Qin? Additionally, for any pill formulas you purchase, I can offer a 30% discount. Upon hearing this, Qin Ming nodded. The conditions offered were already quite generous. Moreover, these 2 bottles of blood evil pill and bloodbone pill were not crafted using demon ape flesh, but with other Tier 2 demon beast flesh, so the effect would not match those he crafted for himself. Deal. Su Jing was overjoyed at his straightforwardness, as she was pondering whether to concede further. Fellow Taoist Qin, seeing shopkeeper Su's excited expression, had a faint smile. She didn't realize he had ulterior motives beyond the deal. What kind of pill formulas does fellow Taoist Qin need? I will settle it all for you, Su Jing said with a smile. Qin Ming pondered for a moment and then said, give me a copy of your highest tier pill formulas. Save me a few trips. Su Jing was taken aback upon hearing this, and, after a moment, she replied awkwardly, fellow Taoist Qin, the highest tier pill formula in our pavilion, besides the blood evil pill formula and the blood bone pill formula you previously purchased, is only a tier 2 high-grade pill formula. She then took out a beast hide pill formula and handed it to Qin Ming. Fellow Taoist Qin, take a look and see if you need it. Qin Ming took the formula to have a look and saw the small seal script characters Jade Profound Pill written boldly on it. This pill formula was only half. Obviously, Su Jing could not truly show him the complete formula. However, after Qin Ming finished reading the first half, he developed a strong interest in this Jade Profound Pill, because this pill not only had the effect of stabilizing and broadening the meridians, but it could also enhance the mana cultivation of late-stage Foundation Establishment and Foundation Establishment Perfection cultivators. It was the best pill for transitioning from the Foundation Establishment stage to the Perfection Realm with almost negligible drug resistance. Only, as a Tier 2 high-grade spirit pill, its crafting difficulty was daunting. Even in Profound Creek Valley, only the one and only Tier 3 alchemy grandmaster in Liang Country had the confidence to craft this pill. Apart from the difficulty in crafting, the spiritual materials were also extremely rare, consisting entirely of Tier 2 high-grade spirit grass. After reading the formula, Qin Ming was very interested and immediately said, fellow Taoist Su, I'll take this pill formula. Besides that, I'd also like to purchase some of the spiritual materials listed on the formula. Is fellow Taoist Qin planning to craft the Jade Profound Pill? Su Jing's mouth felt open, stunned to the point of nearly being speechless. Qin Ming smiled slightly, exuding an air of calm composure. In fact, he had already obtained several Tier 2 high-grade pill formulas from Su Yuqing before. Among them, he had successfully crafted 2 high-grade spirit pills, and his current divine soul power had already approached Foundation Establishment Perfection, nearly reaching the divine thought strength of a fake pill ancestor. Crafting high-tier pills was like a fish taking to water for him. Just giving it a try. I don't have much confidence, Qin Ming thought for a moment and spoke. Su Jing then calmed her emotions, hesitated a bit, and said, most of the spiritual materials needed to craft the Jade Profound Pill are available in our pavilion, except for one. However, we don't have those items in stock. They'll need to be transferred from within the sect, which might take some time, Su Jing explained. Qin Ming inquired upon hearing this, what kind of spiritual material is missing? A Tier 2 top-grade spirit plant called 7-leaf nether mushroom, which is extremely rare, and even Profound Creek Valley hasn't cultivated it. Qin Ming nodded thoughtfully and said, all right, I'll take the formula first. When can the rest of the spiritual materials be delivered? Under normal circumstances, they could be delivered within half a month, but with the demon beasts rampaging outside nowadays, it might take over 3 months to reach Vast Sea Immortal City. This is mainly because in Liang Country, the beast tide has been mostly suppressed. Su Jing said this with a proud expression on her face. Qin Ming naturally understood what she implied. Profound Creek Valley had not just one Golden Core ancestor station there, and clearing those beast tides was naturally an easy task. Moreover, those high-tier demon beasts weren't foolish. Knowing that Liang Country had many high-tier cultivators, they wouldn't walk into a trap. With such a great sect as Profound Creek Valley around, the safety of Liang Country's cultivation realm is of course assured. Qin Ming praised at the right moment. Fellow Taoist Qin, do you have any intention of joining our Profound Creek Valley? I can have my grandfather make an introduction. With your reputation and skill level, the sect's upper echelons would certainly welcome you with open arms. Su Jing once again extended an olive branch to Qin Ming. Her intention to recruit him was extremely obvious. Qin Ming naturally could not truly join Profound Creek Valley. If he really went there, he might again become a mere farming tool, just like when he was in Spirit Feather Sect. Moreover, Qin Ming predicted that the person who would deliver the spiritual materials needed for the Jade Profound Pill from within Profound Creek Valley would definitely be Su Jing's grandfather. After all, no spirit plant master could refuse a face-to-face exchange with a Tier 2 high-grade spirit plant master. As an inner sect elder, he surely had access to much more information than Su Jing. Just a brief contact could allow Qin Ming to proceed with his next plans. Therefore, Qin Ming politely declined Su Jing's invitation. A hint of disappointment flashed across Su Jing's face. However, she did not dwell on it. Since fellow Taoist Qin is not inclined to join any forces, I cannot compel you. However, fellow Taoist Qin can strengthen cooperation with our pavilion. This is the guest token from our pavilion. Please accept it. Su Jing took out an antiquated jade token from her bosom and handed it to Qin Ming. She naturally hoped to deepen her ties with Qin Ming in the future. With Qin Ming's skills, even if he could not be recruited, such an opportunity for cooperation should not be missed. With this token, you can enjoy a 20% discount at all major stores established by Profound Creek Valley and have the qualification to purchase restricted resources in our pavilion. Qin Ming accepted the jade token, seeing on its front a Shi character engraved in ancient script and on the back a tripod cauldron. Thank you, fellow Taoist Su. Qin Ming accepted without hesitation. After collecting her thoughts, Su Jing said, "The Jade Profound Pill formula you just purchased is indeed one of our restricted resources. Generally speaking, only clients who have cooperated with us for more than 20 years consistently are qualified for guest status." But with fellow Taoist Qin's dual mastery skills, you are naturally exempt from this rule. Qin Ming nodded, understanding the preciousness of the token. Since fellow Taoist Su is so sincere, I won't be stingy either. If the Jade Profound Pill is successfully refined, I can sell a portion to your pavilion. Really? That would be wonderful. I toast to you with tea in place of wine, fellow Taoist Qin. Then Su Jing settled the accounts for Qin Ming's pill sales and formula purchase. Fellow Taoist Qin, the Jade Profound Pill formula is priced at 20,000 spirit stones. After the discount, it's 14,000 spirit stones. I'll give you 96,000 spirit stones. Would fellow Taoist Qin prefer low-grade spirit stones, or to exchange them for middle-grade spirit stones? Do you have high-grade spirit stones? High-grade spirit stones are high-tier resources. They're not circulated in our pavilion either. Then please exchange them for middle-grade spirit stones for me. Afterward, Su Jing took 960 middle-grade spirit stones out from her storage pouch and handed them to Qin Ming. As Qin Ming put away the spirit stones, he suddenly asked, puzzled, "By the way, fellow Taoist Su, given the urgent situation with the beast tide in Vast Sea Immortal City, aren't you planning to return to Liang Country to avoid the chaos?" You're overthinking, fellow Taoist Qin. When our pavilion settled here, we reached an agreement with the Immortal City. If it ever reaches the dire point of the city's destruction, we can use the teleportation array within the city to escape far away. Su Jing explained with a smile, revealing a purple gold token in her hand for Qin Ming to see. Qin Ming glanced at the teleportation order in her hand, realizing that such a thing existed. No wonder these major powers in the central regions remained calm in the face of the beast tide. They had long prepared an escape route. Unlike the loose cultivators in the outer and inner cities, if the Immortal City falls, they have no way out but death. I'll return to your pavilion for spiritual materials in 3 months. If fellow Taoist Su has any leads on the 7-leaf nether mushroom, please keep an eye out for me. I will be eagerly awaiting, and of course, prioritize fellow Taoist Qin's request in my mind. The transaction concluded. With Su Jing's courteous farewell, Qin Ming left the shop. Passing through the inner city, Qin Ming noticed a medium-sized talisman shop. Some familiar figures inside caught his attention, and he saw Feng Sihai and his clansmen busily at work. With the arrival of the beast tide, the prices of talismans had surged. Moreover, with Qin Ming's prior warning, Feng Sihai, always shrewd, had stockpiled a large number of talisman-making materials before the beast tide began. This foresight caused the Feng family to profit significantly in recent years, and their business thrived. Esteemed senior, are you here to purchase talismans? Feel free to look around inside. Our shop offers quality products at fair prices, honestly dealing with young and old, and the talismans we produce have an excellent reputation in the Immortal City. Feng Sihai flashed a smile, seeing a foundation establishment great cultivator lingering outside his shop, and respectfully greeted him. Hee, I'm just looking around, Qin Ming replied with a smile, not lingering further, and moved on. Watching Qin Ming's departing figure, Feng Sihai scratched his head in bewilderment. This senior, why does he feel so familiar? When Qin Ming went to the Feng family initially, he took 100 illusion pill, transforming into the appearance of a burly man with a curly beard, so they naturally couldn't recognize him. However, Feng Sihai led his clan and, after years of struggle, created a vast family business, not to mention advancing his cultivation from the mid-stage Qi cultivation to the late-stage Qi cultivation. With such achievements, Brother Feng Yuan could rest in peace. Qin Ming also promised Feng Sihai that if someone in their family achieved Qi cultivation perfection, he would grant them a fortuitous encounter, and it seems that day is not far off. After all, the value of the innate earth given by the Feng family was immeasurable. Having nearly completed his tasks in the vast sea Immortal City, Qin Ming planned to head back. He found Luovuliang to ask for his assistance in leaving. Luovuliang asked, Fellow Taoist Qin, our city lord asked me to inquire how the task she entrusted you with is progressing. Oh, tell Master Nalan to rest assured, at most in another 2 or 3 years, I will complete the entrusted task, Qin Ming declared confidently. Upon hearing this, Luovuliang's eyes lit up with joy, saying, I didn't expect fellow Taoist Qin to be so efficient, truly admirable. Qin Ming naturally guessed the situation. Master Nalan owned a Tier 3 spirit turtle beast pet, an invaluable helper. After the spirit turtle got injured, it had been in recovery, but given the current turbulent times, she naturally hoped it would recover its combat ability soon. Although Qin Ming had already ripened the Tier 3 spirit transformation demon fruit, he couldn't hand it over too soon to avoid raising suspicion. The Tier 3 spirit turtle hadn't even had a taste. Yet Qin Ming's own 2 beast pets had a full meal. Right, Alliance Leader Lim asked me to tell fellow Taoist Qin that he hurried back to the Loose Alliance to handle matters and left before waiting for you, Luovuliang said suddenly. Qin Ming nodded. He was quite curious about how Lim Yuanqing's talks with Master Nalan went. Perhaps this was also why Master Nalan was eager for Luovuliang to ask about the progress of the spirit-transforming demon grass plantation. As the city lord, it seemed she didn't want to leave that Tier 3 blood-cursed demon vine unattended. Fellow Taoist Qin, take care on your journey. Fellow Taoist, perhaps we'll meet again soon. I need to return to the Immortal City in 3 months. I'll bother you then. You're always welcome. As they spoke, Luovuliang led fellow Taoist Qin to a section of the city wall, then took out a token and cast a rune at the defense array. A bluish light curtain appeared, instantly creating a passage large enough for one person to pass through. With a flash, Qin Ming passed through the opening, transforming into a green stream of light disappearing into the horizon. Luckily, after repelling the beast tide the previous day, the nearby demon beasts had significantly decreased, presumably recuperating and preparing for the next onslaught. Once outside the Immortal City, Qin Ming summoned the silver-winged frost bee, racing back to Moon Island at lightning speed. Over an hour later, the vast expanse of Wanghua Lake appeared in Qin Ming's view. Qin Ming waved his hand to open the Mist Illusion Realm and entered Wanghua Island. The members of the Wu family were still diligently working in the spirit field, and Wu Jiang greeted him upon his return. Qin Ming returned to his cave mansion. The first thing he did was take out the spirit seeds of the Tier 3 spirit plant, 3 red soul reviving grass, then stepped out to the individual medicine field, picked up the spiritual hoe, loosened the spiritual soil, and then ground the 5 types of spiritual materials into powder, evenly sprinkling them in the medicine field. Finally, he planted the spirit seeds, which were few in number, just a handful, considering the 3 red soul reviving grass is an extremely rare main ingredient for refining high-tier life-extending pills. And it was a Tier 3 longevity pill, reportedly far more effective than other longevity pills, granting an additional 50 years of life in one dose. It was comparable to the lifespan extension effects of his 5-week lifespan entries. For those golden core old monsters nearing the end of their lifespans, its allure was self-evident. Although there was only a few spirit seeds, Qin Ming had the entries in hand, so once the first batch of spirit plants matured, he would be able to use the newly born seeds to produce more 3 red soul reviving grass. After planting the seeds, Qin Ming performed the great 5 elements technique over the medicine field, with spiritual rain continually falling. Qin Ming's strong affinity for plants noticed the few spirit seeds in the soil, sending waves of joy. He smirked, "More or less no problem. Hope it gives me a good entry." However, the growth cycle of Tier 3 spirit plants is exceedingly long, taking 300 years before the spirit grass is ready for use in alchemy. So he'd have to wait until the leaf of space-time, entry refreshed in the spirit field to gradually ripen the spirit grass. After finishing these tasks, Qin Ming approached the spiritual peach tree in front of his cave mansion and found that fresh green buds had already grown on the branches. He carefully circled these 5 elements primordial spirit peaches several times, as these spiritual peach trees, being extremely delicate, were prone to diseases or troublesome pests. After inspection, Qin Ming followed the methods from a spirit plant master's legacy, took out a pair of golden spirit scissors, and pruned the peach tree branches. So much trouble, keep planting, and it'll soon become Huagua Mountain. Qin Ming looked at the 5 spiritual peach trees, which were in good growing condition, and felt a sense of joy. Afterward, he took out the Jade Profound pill formula, sat on a stone bench under the peach tree, and while sipping Jade Qilin wine, began to study it. Half a month passed. Qin Ming had already researched the Jade Profound pill formula thoroughly. He was just waiting for the materials to arrive so he could start crafting the pill. Besides that, Su Yuqing had previously sent over a high-tier pill formula that he was studying. Among them, there was a spirit pill named Void-Breaking Pill, made using the Tier 2 Perfection Demon Pill of the double-pupil demon ape. This pill could greatly enhance Qi blood power and transform the body, undoubtedly meeting the conditions for pushing his innate Gang Qi to the 3rd transformation. However, the spiritual materials required to craft this pill were quite complex. Fortunately, Qin Ming had already planted all the necessary Tier 2 spiritual materials in the medicine field at the front of his cave mansion. They could be harvested in 2 years. If a ripening entry appeared, it would be even faster. For Qin Ming, the most important main ingredient, the Tier 2 Perfection Demon Pill, was secured, and gathering other spirit grass wouldn't be difficult. On this day, Qin Ming completed his daily cultivation and was at the lakeside, teasing the profound water crocodile with a dragon blood divine fruit. Whoosh! Outside Wanhua Lake, a purple escape light came speeding from a distance, instantly rushing towards Wanhua Island. Qin Ming furrowed his brows and extended his divine thought, only to reveal a very surprised expression. An unassuming Dharma ship docked at the island, with one person sitting inside the cabin. "It's Wei Wuya. Didn't he say he was secretly closed off to charge towards core formation? Why did he come here?" Qin Ming showed a puzzled expression, unable to figure it out. Then, a light streak passed through the mist illusion realm and landed in Qin Ming's hand. He opened the sound transmission talisman in his hand. "Fellow Taoist Qin, please come out for a chat." Although Qin Ming didn't know why Wei Wuya sought him, he decided to go out and meet him. "Go play by yourself." Qin Ming threw the dragon blood divine fruit far away, and with a splash, it fell into the water. The profound water crocodile's eyes lit up and dashed after it like lightning. Then, Qin Ming opened the mist illusion realm, flew out of Wanwei Island, and landed on the Dharma ship outside. On the deck stood two ordinary-looking guards who quickly bowed and greeted. Master Qin, my master invites you inside." Qin Ming glanced at the two, discovering they were both at mid-stage Foundation establishment cultivation. He replied blandly and stepped into the ship's cabin. The interior was spacious and decorated simply yet elegantly. "Fellow Taoist Qin, long time no see." Wei Wuya remained noble and refined, with sword-like brows and a powerful aura radiating from his body. Yet, when Qin Ming entered, he used his divine thought to probe Wei's mana cultivation, finding it still at Foundation establishment perfection, though the mana seemed more purified. Fellow Taoist Wei, long time no see. How about stopping by my island?" Qin Ming smiled courteously and cupped his hands. Wei Wuya waved his hand. "No need, fellow Taoist Qin. I won't stay long today. We can discuss things here." "Oh, why did fellow Taoist Wei travel so far to find Qin? Is there something urgent?" Qin Ming asked curiously. Wei Wuya didn't rush to answer Qin Ming's question. Instead, he invited him to sit and personally brewed spirit tea before explaining his visit. "I came here because I have an extremely important matter that I want to ask fellow Taoist Qin for help with." Qin Ming showed surprise upon hearing this, pondering what could be something that even the Thunder Origins sect couldn't handle, having to seek help from an outsider like him. "Oh, please speak, fellow Taoist Wei. If Qin can offer any help, he will certainly do his best," Qin Ming said with a faint smile. Next, Wei Wuya produced a set of silver array flags in his hand, waving them as silver light streaks fell around the cabin. Instantly, all surrounding sounds were isolated, marking a high-tier soundproof array. "Fellow Taoist Qin, this matter is crucial, and what we discuss today needs your absolute confidentiality," Wei Wuya said gravely. Qin Ming nodded. Since fellow Taoist Wei trusts Qin, rest assured. His impression of Wei Wuya was quite positive. "It's like this. I wish for fellow Taoist Qin to craft a pill, a Tier 2 top-grade spirit pill." Then, Wei Wuya took out an ancient-looking pill formula and handed it to Qin Ming. "Life-restoring pill." Qin Ming glanced at the formula, with 3 red characters catching his eye. He continued to read further, becoming increasingly alarmed. This life-restoring pill was a spirit pill capable of spending remaining lifespan, restoring one's cultivation back to its peak. But if a cultivator consumed this pill, once the medicinal power wore off, their soul would wander the void. Moreover, the pill was extremely special, with an exceptionally high crafting difficulty. Seeing the dense crafting methods on it, Qin Ming couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. "Fellow Taoist Wei, this..." Qin Ming hesitated after reading the formula. Wei Wuya seemed to expect Qin Ming's reaction, then promised. "As long as fellow Taoist Qin can help craft this pill, name your conditions. Moreover, I have already prepared all the spiritual materials needed for the life-restoring pill." Even so, Qin Ming dared not immediately promise him. Fellow Taoist Wei, it's not that Qin is unwilling, but I noticed the crafting difficulty of a life-restoring pill is perhaps the hardest among Tier 2 pills. I dare not casually promise, should I miss fellow Taoist Wei's great matter," Qin Ming said helplessly. Wei Wuya furrowed his brows lightly, then sighed. "What fellow Taoist Qin said is indeed true. Were it not so, I wouldn't seek you. In fact, Elder Yam, who is our sect's top alchemist, has tried crafting it over 10 times, but failed in every attempt." "Oh, the renowned Tier 2 high-grade Grand Alchemist from the Wei Country Cultivation Realm, Yan Changkong." Qin Ming naturally had heard of such figures. Wei Wuya took a sip of tea and nodded. "Indeed. I ask boldly, does your sect not have any Tier 3 alchemy grandmasters?" Wei Wuya, hearing this, spat out the tea he had just drunk. He awkwardly wiped his mouth and then replied, "Our sect's top alchemist is Elder Yam. No Tier 3 Alchemy Grandmaster. Not even in the Wei country cultivation realm. Qin Ming ed in understanding, nodding thoughtfully and pondered. It seems my alchemy skills are already the pinnacle of the Wei country cultivation realm. Apparently, only places like the Liang country, where traditions are well maintained, have Tier 3 alchemists, and only one. Tier 3 alchemists are truly rare in the southern wilderness cultivation realm. Besides that, Qin Ming already roughly guessed who the life-restoring pill Wei Wuya wanted him to craft was for. Inside the cabin, Wei Wuya saw fellow Taoist Qin Ming looking hesitant, sighed, and then said, to be honest with fellow Taoist Qin, there's nothing to hide from you. This life-restoring pill was actually requested by our Sect Supreme Elder, Elder Ao, to use. As he spoke, there was a subtle fluctuation in his emotions, clearly showing it was a very reluctant move. Qin Ming opened his mouth wide, pretending to be completely unaware. To say the least, the Supreme Elder made such a major decision. Thanks to fellow Taoist Qin, Wei Wuya's words were shocking, and then he let out a bitter smile. Qin Ming was directly stunned when he heard this. If it weren't for fellow Taoist Qin's reminder to the Alliance leader limb of the Loose Alliance that the Tier 3 demon vine on Qinya Island might soon give birth to a new demon seed. After fellow Taoist Qin's words reached the Sect, several Tier 2 spirit plant masters within the Sect reviewed historical records on Tier 3 spirit plants, combined with the intelligence from Alliance leader limb. The final judgment was the same as fellow Taoist Qin's words. Moreover, the birth of the demon seed is within 5 years. If it's not handled in time, the consequences would be unimaginable. In the urgency of the situation, Elder Ao made such a decision. Qin Ming suddenly realized and said in surprise, could it be? Elder Ao is ready to take action to eradicate that demon vine. That's right, not just Elder Ao, Spirit Feather Sect's UN ancestor, and Vast Sea Immortal City's Master Nailin. The 3 Golden Core Masters of Wei Country have reached a consensus. The sects will temporarily put aside their differences and join forces to eliminate this great hidden danger within the Wei Country's cultivation realm. To be frank with fellow Taoist Qin, the reason why Elder Ao needs to take the life-restoring pill is that the Elder's lifespan is running out, and regardless of the battle's outcome, he is already prepared for death. Of course, it would be best to completely eradicate this demon in one fell swoop, removing future troubles forever. Qin Ming couldn't help but feel a sense of respect for this living fossil of the Wei country's cultivation realm upon hearing this. And the fact that Wei Wuya was willing to share such confidential information with him was enough to show his recognition. Of course, after a while, when the great battle begins, this would no longer be a secret. The elders of others are risking their lives against demons. If I refuse, it might seem a bit heartless. Besides, I can negotiate conditions with Thunder Origin Sect. I might take the opportunity to gather the spiritual materials I'm missing. More importantly, Wei Wuya, this Thunder Origin Sect Golden Core Seed, will owe me a pretty significant favor. Even the alchemical materials are ready-made. Considering everything, it's not impossible to do. But after just reviewing that pill formula, it's just a sliver away from reaching that Tier 3 level. And there are several key points in the refining process that even I can't understand, which is quite challenging. Also, with Wanhua Island located within the Spirit Nest Islands, quite close to Qinya Island, if the Tier 3 Blood Curse Demon Vine grows powerful, the demon seed rampages, I might have to flee. If the 3 masters can eradicate this foe in one go, that would be for the best. Qin Ming's mind was racing, having already made a decision. Since fellow Taoist Wei trusts Qin so much, I am willing to give it a try. Helping Elder Ao with alchemy is an honor for Qin, and it also serves the Wei country's cultivation realm in some capacity. Qin Ming declared with an unquestioning resolve. Wei Wuya saw Qin Ming agree so readily and was delighted. He immediately raised his teacup. Fellow Taoist Qin is indeed noble, It's rare for the Wei country's cultivation realm to have a master like you who possesses virtues and abilities, just like finding a treasure. I toast to you with tea instead of wine. Fellow Taoist Wei is too kind. After the two toasted with a cup of tea, Qin Ming wiped his mouth and directly asked, "By the way, fellow Taoist Wei, as a condition for the alchemy, I need several spiritual materials, namely the seven-leaf nether mushroom, red jade crystal sand, phoenix perch spirit grass, cold marrow treasure flower." Qin Ming listed a bunch of rare spiritual materials in one breath, making his mouth dry, so he couldn't help but stop to have a sip of spirit tea. Wei Wuya was left stunned. But the next word from Qin Ming further surprised this senior disciple of Thunder Origin Sect. Finally, Qin would also need 50 pieces. No, make it 30 pieces. 30 pieces of high-grade spirit stones would suffice. What do you think, fellow Taoist Wei? Wei Wuya snapped back to reality, his face twitching slightly, forcing a smile. "Fellow Taoist Qin, I can agree to your request for those spiritual materials. But as for the high-grade spirit stones, I'm afraid I can't provide you with such a large amount. At most, you can only have 5 pieces." Qin Ming nodded calmly. "5 pieces it is, deal." He answered crisply and straightforwardly, without any hesitation. Originally, he hadn't expected Wei Wuya to agree to such an excessive condition, and 5 high-grade spirit stones were already far beyond his expectations. Afterwards, Wei Wuya handed over a bag of spiritual materials needed to refine the life-restoring pill to Qin Ming. However, moments later, "Fellow Taoist Wei, this isn't right. Why is there only one set of spiritual materials for refining the life-restoring pill?" Qin Ming asked in bewilderment as he opened the package. Wei Wuya revealed an embarrassed expression and awkwardly explained, "There were originally over a dozen sets of spiritual materials, but Elder Yam accidentally failed all of them, so there's only this last set left. Moreover, if fellow Taoist Qin can't succeed with this one set of materials, our sect won't be able to gather any more extras in the short term either." Qin Ming. So Elder Yam failed over a dozen sets, not just over a dozen attempts. Thunder Origin Sect really was at a dead end and finally thought of me. In fact, Wei Wuya only recently found out that there were Tier 2 high-grade spirit pills and Foundation Establishment pills auctioned at Vast Sea Immortal City's Mirror Snow Pavilion, which led him to think of working closely with Qin Ming. "Fellow Taoist Qin, no need to feel pressured. Whether the alchemy succeeds or fails, Wei owes you a favor," Wei Wuya said sincerely. Qin Ming then stored the spiritual materials into his storage pouch and asked, "All right, fellow Taoist Wei, roughly when do you need this pill?" This set of materials could allow for the furnace to refine a dozen or so life-restoring pills, which was enough for him, so he wasn't in a hurry. "Of course, the sooner the better. Let's set it within a year. How do you feel about that, fellow Taoist Qin?" Okay. Qin Ming pondered for a moment before replying. "Regardless of the outcome of the refinement, fellow Taoist Qin, you can send someone to the core area of the Vast Sea Immortal City, find our Thunder Origin Sect's Linglong Pavilion, and deliver the message," Wei Wuya said. Qin Ming nodded, suddenly remembering and hesitatingly asked, "Fellow Taoist Wei, forgive my boldness, but if your sect's Elder Aoo takes the life-restoring pill, then in the future..." Is fellow Taoist Qin worrying about the future of our Thunder Origin Sect? To be honest, after I return this time, I will enter a closed-door cultivation, attempting to break through to the Golden Core realm. When Wei Wuya said this, he exuded an aura of strong self-confidence, as if his entire will had reached its peak. Upon hearing this, Qin Ming said enviously, "Then I wish fellow Taoist Wei great success in the Golden Core and lead the immortal Tao forever." After their discussions were finalized, Wei Wuya then took his leave with his people. Qin Ming gazed deeply at the Dharma ship disappearing into the distant sky, thinking to himself, "It seems I'll have to consult Master Su for answers and guidance again." Several days later, inside the cave mansion, Qin Ming held the life-restoring pill formula given to him by Wei Wuya, furrowing his brow in intense study. Most of the refining process was somewhat grasped by him, yet there were still a few key points that left him uncertain. If these crucial points are not understood, any attempts at refining will likely result in failure. No wonder Elder Yan from Thunder Origin's Sect wasted more than a dozen materials without gaining anything. Thinking of this, Qin Ming took out a blank jade scroll and wrote the life-restoring pill formula onto it, followed by various queries. He then applied a special spiritual prohibition to the jade scroll so that only specific individuals could unlock it. Otherwise, its contents would remain inaccessible. Having completed these tasks, Qin Ming took steps out of the cave mansion and sent a message to Wu Jiang. A few moments later, Wu Jiang, seemingly having just finished planting in the fields, ran up covered in sweat and asked with a cheerful grin, "Oh, Master Qin, what do you require of me? I need an item delivered to fellow Taoist Gu in Vasi, Immortal City." Well. Wu Jiang's previously breezy expression turned into a bitter look upon hearing this. "What? Is there a problem?" Qin Ming said, deliberately exuding a stern demeanor. No, for the Isle Master. I'll brave any danger and never shirk." Wu Jiang replied with a determined spirit. Under normal circumstances, running several errands would be no issue, but with demon beasts rampant outside, for a Qi cultivation novice like him, stepping outside would barely be a challenge for the demon beasts. Don't worry, since I'm sending you. Naturally, you won't be going off to die knowingly." Qin Ming, amused by his expression, continued, "A Dharma ship from the Loose Alliance will head to Vast Sea, Immortal City this afternoon. I've made arrangements, so you can accompany them for a safe journey." Wu Jiang suddenly realized and nodded in understanding. He hadn't left the island in a long time and was eager to see what's transpiring out there. He immediately wore a jubilant expression. "All right, rest assured I'll master. You can count on me. Aside from delivering the message, is there any other spiritual material you need me to purchase?" "Not for now." Qin Ming then handed him a letter and the jade scroll. Wu Jiang accepted the items, and when the Loose Alliance's Dharma ship arrived in the afternoon, he set off to fulfill his tasks. Meanwhile, Qin Ming returned to the cave mansion to intensify his cultivation. Due to the now increasingly complex situation in the cultivation realm, even the 3 Golden Core ancestors were personally engaged in battles. He, a Foundation Establishment cultivator, needed to strive with determination. An imminent war was brewing once more. This demon-slaying conflict within Wei Country's cultivation realm might be unprecedented in scale. Major cities must remain vigilant against the beast-tide assaults from the Beast Roar Mountain Range, truly besieged from both sides. Once the battle with the Demon Vine on Qinya Island begins, without the Golden Core ancestors anchoring, it also entails many cultivators' life and death situations elsewhere. Even if the 3 true ones intend to slay demons, swift and decisive actions are necessary. Or else, the rear still faces the threat of the beast tide. Qin Ming silently operated ancient wood longevity technique, as the green liquid-like longevity Dharma power flowed continuously into the mana lake within his Dantian. He was enveloped by a faint green layer of plant essence qi, like an ancient, towering evergreen tree, exuding a gentle woody aroma. Hours passed. Qin Ming opened his eyes and slightly examined his Dantian through divine thought. "My cultivation has advanced considerably. The ancient evergreen body is nearly complete. Soon it will be perfected. Once fully cultivated, my spirit root aptitude will rival the celestial grade spirit root of an extraordinary genius. At this pace, I should reach late-stage foundation establishment before turning 60. According to Cultivation Realm standards, achieving late-stage foundation establishment before 60 implies exceptional talent and fortune. Within a major sect, I qualify as a Golden Core seed. Although the medicinal power of Jade Qilin wine isn't as potent as before, it still offers significant support for my cultivation up to late-stage foundation establishment. After finishing cultivation, Qin Ming left the cave mansion and executed the Great Five Elements technique onto the spirit field, irrigating the spirit plants. Then, he checked the remaining entries in his sea of consciousness. Bloodline Ancestor, X2. Spirit Plant Spirit, X1. Quality Enhancement, X5. Regenerative Spirit Seed, X3. Other entries had been consumed during Qin Ming's regular cultivation. He pondered while stroking his chin and then headed to the spirit-gathering tea tree and purple gold bamboo forest. These are the first batch of Tier 2 low-grade spirit plants Qin Ming planted upon arriving at Wangyue Island. Consider the elders among the spirit plants on Wangyue Island. Currently, the spirit-gathering tea and purple gold bamboo are thriving under the nourishment of the Tier 3 spirit vein. The yield of spirit tea leaves increases yearly. The spirit-gathering tea enhanced my divine thought to near Tier 2 limits. Purple gold bamboo as Tier 2 artifact refining material. Cutting it all would be a waste. On the island, the bamboo forest presents a unique scenery. Perhaps there'll be unexpected gains? It's time to enhance the grade of these two spirit plants. Qin Ming then mentally activated two Bloodline Ancestor entries, which instantly vanished, settling onto the spirit-gathering tea tree and purple gold bamboo. In that instant, a profound power descended upon these two spirit plants. Their appearance began to undergo significant transformation. The spirit-gathering tea's branches sprouted many snow-white, thin as cicada wing leaves. Within the tea garden, the scene presented a curious blend of green and white. Qin Ming's vision refreshed to show three golden shimmering entries. Name, Snow Soul, Tea Entry. Soul Power Crystal X5, Maturity 1%. Name, Snow Soul Tea Entry. Leaf of Spacetime X5, Maturity 1%. Name, Snow Soul Tea Entry. Weak Lifespan X5, Maturity 1%. Qin Ming looked at the newly transformed tea tree garden with a sudden gleam in his eyes. He recalled a passage from a book on spirit plants. Snow Soul Tea, Tier 2 top-grade spirit plant, loves shade, and enhances cultivation slightly, yet its greatest effect is securing the soul and guarding against heart demon intrusion. It works wonders for breaking through bottlenecks, even aiding high-tier cultivators in breaking through a great realm. Legend has it that Snow Soul Tea only grows in the frigid north and is scarce, nearly unseen even among the 4 nations of southern wilderness cultivation realm. It's actually such an exceptional spirit tea. Qin Ming smiled with delight. He then turned his gaze toward the purple gold bamboo forest. The bamboo forest also underwent a dramatic transformation. Strange spirit patterns adorned the original green bamboo, emitting a purple aura. Qin Ming's view, once more, refreshed with 2 golden shimmering entries. Name, Void Bamboo Entry. Qi Blood Crystal X5, Maturity 1%. Name, Void Bamboo Entry. Leaf of Spacetime X5, Maturity 1%. Meanwhile, the term Void Bamboo flashed briefly in Qin Ming's mind. Yet, he couldn't recall any information about this spirit bamboo. Thus, Qin Ming took out his collected spirit plant books and jade scrolls, leafing through them one by one. After many hours, he finally found a record about void bamboo in an unconventional book. This book was a hodgepodge, a travelogue by a golden core ancestor fond of spirit plants, recording various peculiar spirit plants. The cultivator came across this spirit bamboo by chance in a perilous secret realm, documenting that void bamboo only appeared near spatial rifts. This spirit bamboo had the distinctive feature of lacking any 5 elements attribute and possessing a high malleability. Void bamboo not only could seamlessly integrate with other refining materials to enhance the grade of spiritual artifacts. More notably, a small portion of these bamboos had a slight chance to surpass Tier 2 limitations, growing into Tier 3 spirit plants. In this case, can I enhance my cyan Simurgh sword further? Qin Ming looked happily at the changes in the 2 spirit plants, feeling quite satisfied in his heart. However, both of these spirit plants have been enhanced to Tier 2 top grade, and their growth cycle is relatively long. It takes at least a dozen years to harvest them. But for Qin Ming, this isn't much of an issue. The silver-winged frost bee also flew out from the hive, looking curiously at the newly transformed tea tree forest and the bamboo forest of purple and green hues. It seemed to sense a more intense aura of wood spirit chi emanating from within, immediately ordering all the spirit bees in the hive to turn into streams of light and dive into the bamboo forest to inspect, watching out for any harmful pests. After using 2 bloodline ancestor entries, Qin Ming pondered for a moment. Since I've decided to enhance the spiritual artifact, why not add more flame to it? Subsequently, he focused his mind again, and the spirit plant spirit entry in his sea of consciousness vanished, merging into one of the void bamboos before him. This entry can only be used on a single spirit plant. The spirit plant spirit entry, when used, can grant a certain spirituality to the otherwise ordinary spirit plant. The next instant, cluck, 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 cluck. Within Qin Ming's plant affinity perception, he heard the joyous laughter of a child from within the void bamboo. Oh no, could it have developed sentience? Qin Ming couldn't help but exclaim. Nervously trying to sense it again, he found that the laughter had completely vanished. Then, deep within the core of this bamboo, Qin Ming discovered an embryo the size of a rice grain, shimmering with a faint green glow. It seemed to harbor some strange existence. Following the rhythm of the world, it breathed in the outside spiritual qi, continuously strengthening itself. Qin Ming was extremely excited, joyfully saying, "This spirit bamboo, which has been endowed with spirit, seems highly likely to grow directly into a Tier 3 spirit bamboo." With that, he reached out to stroke the spirit bamboo and felt a sense of warmth and familiarity being conveyed back. Qin Ming was unsure about what kind of spirituality this entry had endowed the void bamboo with. He was a little uncertain himself. It seems that only when it grows up will the answer be revealed. Half a day later, after delivering the letter, Wu Jiang followed the Dharma ship of the Loose Alliance and returned to Wangwei Island. Fellow Taoist Qin, I've personally handed the letter to Pavilion Master Gu, and I've also informed her to handle it urgently. Pavilion Master Gu said there would be a reply in at most half a month. After informing Qin Ming that the matter was settled, Wu Jiang absently returned to the island. Without a doubt, Qin Ming realized Wu Jiang must have been shocked by the gruesome scene outside. When large heaps of cultivator corpses were carried out, it was inevitable to feel sorrow for their kind. Half a month later, Qin Ming had Wu Jiang make another trip to retrieve Su Yuqing's reply. With the reply jade slip in hand, Qin Ming enthusiastically returned to his cave mansion and began to examine its contents. Upon seeing Su Yuqing's reply, he found it contained just a few sentences. Brother Qin, this pill isn't as difficult to refine as you might think. The difficulty doesn't lie in the pill formula, but in the alchemists themselves. That Yan Chongkong failed repeatedly because his divine soul strength was insufficient, preventing him from precisely controlling the fusion and coordination of medicinal properties, failing to meet the requirements for refining this pill. But given Brother Qin's divine soul strength, refining the life-restoring pill would naturally be more than adequate. So, Brother Qin, there's no need to worry. Just boldly attempt to refine it once, and let the issues reveal themselves. After that, you'll know how to successfully refine this pill. Qin Ming couldn't help but scoff after reading. That's it. After eagerly waiting for over half a month, he didn't expect to receive such an answer. The success rate of crafting the life-restoring pill turned out to depend on the alchemist's divine soul strength. Since Su Yuqing said it wouldn't fail and wouldn't deceive me, let's give it a try. Without further hesitation, Qin Ming retrieved the profound jade furnace from his storage pouch and placed it in front of him. Then, he poured out the spiritual materials given by Wei Wuya. In an instant, over 100 rare, top-tier spiritual materials from the cultivation realm of Wei country scattered, quietly floating around Qin Ming under the control of his strong divine thought. Having studied the pill formula continuously over the days, he had a thorough understanding of these spiritual materials. With a movement of divine thought, Qin Ming divided these spiritual materials into 12 portions according to the proportions for refining the life-restoring pill. Then he spat out an ice-blue spirit-devouring poison flame, transforming it into a fiery bird that flew into the bottom of the profound jade furnace, beginning to heat it evenly. Subsequently, he skillfully started extracting medicine embryos and preparing medicinal liquids, processes that were routine for a Tier 2 high-grade alchemist master like himself. However, Qin Ming faintly felt as though he might have missed something. But even when spotting anomalies, he didn't halt his actions, proceeding until the final condensing pill stage. Poof! A cloud of dark blue smoke emerged from within the profound jade furnace, indicating failure in the refining process. Qin Ming raised his hand, removing the lid of the pill furnace, and poured out the black medicinal residue, pondering over the refinement process while observing. After another half an incense stick's time, Qin Ming's eyes suddenly brightened. The perplexing spots he couldn't figure out earlier became instantly clear. He cleared out the residue and began the second attempt at alchemy. The previous procedures remained unchanged, but at the step of preparing the medicinal liquid this time, Qin Ming made modifications. With a movement of one of his split souls, a batch of yellow medicinal liquid filled with earth attribute was suspended before him. Then, using strong divine thought, Qin Ming manipulated the other medicinal liquids representing the water, wood, fire, and metal attributes, incorporating them into that sphere of earth attribute medicinal liquid according to the sequential order of 5 elements mutual generation. It was precisely this process that greatly tested the cultivator's divine soul strength, as any slight mistake or subtle error could cause the medicinal liquids to transition from mutual generation to mutual conflict amongst the 5 elements, instigating various attribute clashes and ultimately leading to failure of the pill refinement. Moreover, prior to furnace condensation, maintaining the stability of this concoction was crucial using divine thought. Qin Ming cleared his mind, staying focused on the alchemy. Gradually, a blend of medicinal liquid radiating a 5-colored halo emerged before him, the 5 elements' hues flickering alternately. Phew! Having completed the crucial step, he cautiously controlled and placed this lavish potion into the profound jade furnace using divine thought. Bang! Upon the potion's entry into the furnace, the spirit-devouring poison flame at its bottom suddenly intensified in temperature. Qin Ming's gaze was sharp as he immediately formed a hand seal, employing the fusion pill technique to proceed with the final condensing pill step. After an extended duration of over half an hour, a clear, chirping sound indicative of pill formation echoed from the pill furnace. However, this time, there was no aromatic scent peculiar to spirit pills, nor was there any phenomenon associated with the crafting of high-tier pills. Something's not right. Could have failed again. Qin Ming swiftly raised his hand toward the profound jade furnace, capturing a spirit pill that transformed into a stream of light as it landed in his hand. Opening his palm for a closer look, he was instantly taken aback, for the pill was completely colorless, tasteless, and even transparent. However, recalling the pill formula's description of the life-restoring pill, a faint smile appeared on his lips. The life-restoring pill has been successfully crafted. Successfully crafting the life-restoring pill on the second attempt would likely infuriate Elder Yan from the Thunder Origin Sect. Qin Ming put away the life-restoring pill and promptly resumed crafting. Since Elder Aoo plans to risk it against demonic beings, we mustn't use ordinary quality life-restoring pills. After all, according to the pill formula, the medicinal power of a high-grade life-restoring pill can even burn away a cultivator's lifespan, temporarily boosting their cultivation to a state beyond the pinnacle. Considering the cultivation of Elder Aoo from the Thunder Origin Sect, it might briefly reach the mid-stage Golden Core level. In that case, the chances of victory against that Tier 3 blood-cursed demon vine will be significantly improved. It would also count as a pleasant surprise for the Thunder Origin sect.